Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Top Rope Renegades. This week in wrestling, my name is Kurt alongside RK. We have a bunch of stuff to get to today. And as always, starting actually next week, because we have something we need to get out of the way early here, RK, we'll kick things off with news and rumor and innuendo and all that good stuff. But first things first, RK, we kind of forgot about something. Didn't really forget about it, but AEW Dynasty is coming up this weekend, and we didn't do predictions for it.
Uh, we definitely didn't forget about it because after this recent weeks of Dynamite, they seem to be back on track and they've set up a lot of good things for this upcoming weekend's pay-per-view, which is awesome. I was hoping they'd get back on track, which they definitely did. But yeah, no, you kind of just brought that up not too long ago, and then you're like, hey, predictions for Dynasty. I'm like, good. I don't even know what the card is 100%. Outside of like Joe and Swerve, I mean, yeah, I don't really know the whole card. So this is going to be literally right off the top of the head, my predictions. So, it'll be the most natural way to do it, actually. So it works out.
It's probably gonna be mine too because I haven't really looked at it fully yet. But we'll start things with we're gonna get right into it. Got a lot of stuff to get to. So AEW Dynasty coming up this weekend in St. Louis. There is the pre-show stuff per usual. They call what is it, the 0 hour that will be taking place. Just announced actually today as we're recording, Trent Beretta taking on Matt Sydal. RK, what do you think?
What, at Dynasty?
Yeah, it's a pre-show match.
Oh, that's so cool. Matt Sydal, I mean, we all know how good Matt Sydal is. He's had a very long career, part of some major storylines over the years. And right now, Trent Beretta's in a different. He's in a different zone. He's on a different level right now. I've always loved Trent Beretta. I've talked about it in previous shows. That he, well said, underrated. I don't think he is, but I guess if you consider the thought of what underrated means, you could say he is. But nonetheless, don't sleep on this match because Sydal is an aerial assassin. Now I'm stealing from Osprey. He is the aerial assassin, but Sydal has been doing it for a long time. He is amazing in the ring, but Trent Beretta, man, he puts on banger matches all the time. This could be a surprise match of the night, really, honestly.
So your final pick is Matt Sydal?
Oh, I'm actually having to pick somebody. No,
Yeah, we're not breaking it down. This is a predictions video. We're opening with predictions.
See, this one, I mean, totally off the top of the head, not ready for anything. And apparently not listening to anything you say, which is actually pretty normal. Trent Beretta, the route he's going right now, his streak of, I guess, meanness or wanting to be recognized more, whatever it is, he's hot right now. Trent Beretta is your winner.
Yeah, I'm going with Trent Beretta too. I was live. I was live at AEW Dynamite in Indianapolis this past week, and I watched Trent Beretta launch a chair at Matt Sydal's head. So that was pretty cool. We'll get into that maybe later on, but I'm also going to go with Trent Beretta. Also on the 0 hour pre-show, it is Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty taking on Shibata and Orange Cassidy.
Oh, God.
What do you think, RK? What do you think?
Oh. Oh, yeah, I just got to say one thing right off the hop. Shane Taylor, absolute beast on the mic. His trash talking is next level. I love it. Shibata,
big boy.
I especially after this previous Dynamite, I'm really a huge fan all of a sudden. But man, that's tough. Orange Cassidy's getting a little bit of a beatdown lately. I think, but I mean, it's tricky. I'm gonna go with my boy Orange Cassidy and then Shibata.
I am also gonna go with Orange Cassidy and Shibata to take out Shane Taylor's Promotions. The final match on the 0 hour pre-show is the AEW Trios and Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships on the line. The Acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster taking on Billy Gunn and Bullet Club Gold's Jay White and the Guns. Another AEW pay-per-view and another moment with Jay White on the pre-show. Still don't know how I feel about that. I feel like he's been underutilized. I can take this one right off the bat. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I'm going with Bullet Club Gold on this one. RK, you take it from here.
Well, I mean, technically, the pre-show for Dynasty is bigger than Rampage, so I mean, a little bit of a step up for Jay White here. Yeah, no, I'm 100%. I was watching Dynamite there this weekend while you were there, and I messaged you instantly when Jay White had his promo there with the Bullet Club, and I'm like, man, Jay White on the mic, so good, and in the ring, so good. But his ability to talk is amazing. And every time I see him, it reminds me of what you said about him back. He's like, that dude should never not have a beard, and I agree 100%. But totally random. But yeah, Bullet Club on this one, 100%.
Yep, we are in agreement. They will take the titles away from, so it'll be undisputed. They will have well, what would it be? Trios. So there's too many things going on here. Two sets of trios championships, Ring of Honor and AEW's. This brings us
Does that make it like Sixios or
Sixios?
I don't know. Anyway,
something like that. On to the main show, the main card. We have one of the only two non-title matches on the show. This is the House of Blacks, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews taking on Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe. This has been the House of Black just having issues with Adam Copeland. And Malachi Black has got his eyes on the TNT Championship. What do you think about this one? I kind of wish it was for the TNT Championship. I'm just gonna put that out there.
A trios match for the TNT Championship?
No, like Malachi versus Adam Copeland, but we're getting a trios match instead.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, Malachi Black. There's been a lot of rumors lately over the last few months. Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews being underutilized, and rumors that they are going back to the WWE, all that stuff. Rumors are rumors. Buddy Matthews is a really good wrestler, and Malachi Black is an amazing wrestler. So I'm glad to see them getting a pay-per-view time here. That's good. Shows that AEW still has them planned for big things. But I mean, the way this is going, man, that's a tough one. I want to see House of Black take it, but I just don't see them. Winning this match.
I'm gonna take the House of Black here. Part of me thinks, actually, a lot of me is telling me I am wrong with that. A part of me thinks that the good guys are going to win this one, and Malachi Black can basically, as well as Buddy Matthews, can just go ahead and fuck off for a few more months and then go back to WWE where they belong. But I don't know. Something tells me the House of, I'm just saying, the House of Black, I feel like they might come out on top here. Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe just had a hell of a match for the Ring of Honor World title, which Mark Briscoe won.
Did they ever?
Maybe there's still a little beef. There was really never beef. It's all respect, but you never know. Eddie Kingston is a loose cannon, so we'll see what happens Sunday. So that is both of our picks were split. I'm taking the House of Black. He is taking Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe. Up next is the FTW Championship. It's going to be our favorite match of the night, RK. It is Hook defending against Chris Jericho, an FTW Rules match. I'm actually very happy that this match is happening so we can get this done and over with. That's all I care about in this match. I don't even care who wins. Just it's done and it's over with. What do you think?
In what world do you think Tony Khan's not going to drag on a story entirely too long?
At least he's telling a story. Go ahead.
If you could call it that, I'll give my exact thoughts on what happened on Dynamite later when we review the show. But man, they're gonna give the win to Hook. It's obvious, 100%. Yeah, that's all I got right now. I'll talk about it later.
Of course, I thought you were going into more detail, and I took a bite of a sandwich.
You dipshit.
It's all right. I know what you said last. I can recover. By the way, shout out to Popeyes. Yeah, man. Honestly, I agree. I kind of Hook's gonna win. I agree with you. I just why did and this is gonna really piss you off, RK, when I say this, but I kind of want Hook to just destroy Chris Jericho. And what I mean by that is destroy him so Jericho can disappear for a while. That's really what I want. I think Jericho needs to go away for a bit, and then if they bring him back, bring him back with the freaking old Judas theme song. They'll get the crowd going. They'll get the crowd back on his side. Nobody's buying Chris Jericho right now, so that's what I feel about it. I don't know if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, but that's kind of how I feel.
And if you're gonna get me into it right now, I think Jericho's at the end of his career.
Really? Oh, we're going to it right now. Is this what you're saving?
Yeah, well, I
Save
think
it. Save it. You can save it if it was for Dynasty. If it's for Dynasty,
you're the one who keeps bringing it up. So, anyways, nonetheless, yeah, I will save it for Dynasty when we talk about that exact promo spot. But I think Jericho's done, man. But we'll get into it.
Interesting. Hey, that's a tease. It's a tease. That's how you do a tease in the business. Maybe Tony Khan should take notes. Up next, the AEW I'm on one today. AEW International Championship. Roderick Strong taking on Kyle O'Reilly. The best friends meet again. Gold at stake. I'll let you kick this one off. What do you think, RK? Kyle O'Reilly's like fourth match back after injury, and he's got a title match against Roddy Strong.
Man, I mean, we kind of saw this coming. Kyle O'Reilly came back, was offered a spot in, I always want to say Undisputed Era, but we all know it's Undisputed Kingdom. Same difference, really. But the attack on Kyle O'Reilly, not totally expected, but not totally unexpected. The writing was on the wall in a way that, you know, Kyle O'Reilly wants to do things his own way. He doesn't want to be part of the group. He wants, and apparently they took some exception to that. So setting up for this big title match, I mean, it's AEW's MO, just give title matches to anybody for any reason whatsoever. I'm not against it. I love seeing belts being defended on shows. I do like a little bit more build up to said title matches, but this does have history to it, so I guess you could dig into that. I mean, you know, all the smart marks will dig into the history of matches and give you every possible outcome of every possible. I don't even. Anyways, yeah. I'm off on a tangent here. This match, the title implications not really needed. The drama's there already in itself. So yeah, sure, throw the title on. I keep going back to that. The title thing is just blowing my mind because, again, it just doesn't make sense to be for the title. But the match itself is going to be good, and I think I think Roddy's going to end up with the win. I can't see them putting the title on Kyle for this, but it could set up for more future stuff if Kyle does take the title here and, you know, kind of runs amok in Undisputed Kingdom's plans for stuff. I mean, right now, Undisputed Kingdom's kind of a mess anyways. Adam Cole, man, he really needs to get back. He's got to get back to ring action. But I recently read a report that he's not even close yet. So
he's I don't know where it's going. Not allowed to travel or something.
Yeah, so without Adam Cole, everything just kind of falls flat. So we'll see where this goes. But I'm thinking Roddy's going to take the win.
Yeah, I agree with you and Roderick Strong taking it. Kind of. I'm going to take Roderick Strong, but there is a part of me that thinks maybe if Roddy loses this, the gold they would have left would be the Ring of Honor tag titles, which are on Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. Wardlow had his shot at Samoa Joe and lost, so maybe it's. But I think at the same token, that sounds a little stupid because they're trying to be a dominant force and losing every, you know, a title chance and then losing a title. I mean, they could. Roddy could lose and then Taven and Bennett could lose, but.
It doesn't sound stupid because the whole thing's falling flat right now. The story does not live without Adam Cole. Adam Cole is a master of weaving a tale. I just think between injuries and just how AEW over time sometimes just doesn't quite hit on stories, Adam Cole's getting lost in the mix. And it's unfortunate because Adam Cole is phenomenal, but injuries and everything's just falling flat right now. I was really hyped up for Undisputed Kingdom, but now that I hear Adam Cole's not going to be back, I'm kind of I I don't buy any of it. It doesn't work
Yeah.
without Adam Cole. Period. None of
Yeah.
this works without Adam Cole.
Yeah, I echo everything you just said there. That's why it's falling flat. You need Adam Cole to at least tell the story. So maybe it is. Maybe Roddy. I'm taking Roddy. I agree with you, but maybe Roddy does lose it. Then maybe Taven and Bennett lose the tag titles, and it's just kind of maybe Undisputed Kingdom kind of goes away a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Up next is the TBS Championship. Julia Hart defending against my friend. I met her on Tuesday of this week. Willow Nightingale, absolute sweetheart. One of the nicest human beings I've ever met. What you see in the ring and that personality is what you get. You're there.
Okay. Just checking.
You're there.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Good thing this is only audio only. We'll get to video eventually, and then I'd be lying. They would see it in my face. But no, Willow was fantastic, and we can talk about that later. But Julia Hart defending against Willow Nightingale. This is a house rules match. RK, I'll let you go first because I got a little bit of an idea about this one that I kind of wanted to share, but I'll let you take it first because I need to rethink it in my head to make sure I got everything right. So take it away.
Okay. Well, I'll give you my answer if you answer one of my questions first. Is Mercedes Moné fighting on this card yet? I can't remember if she's still.
She'll be.
If she doesn't have anything. Double or nothing against
the winner of this match, actually.
Okay, so that does influence my answer on this. It's Willow Nightingale taking the win. The history between Mercedes and Willow builds a perfect match for Double or Nothing for the title. 100% Willow Nightingale on this match.
Yeah. Okay. I see what your mindset is. I do kind of agree with it. And I wanted to just clarify for you and myself because I'm reading it right in front of me and people that listen. It's being contested under house rules, and that is there are 20-second countouts instead of 10. Disqualifications are enforced with no rope breaks. The most interesting rule is dealer's choice, where the challenger gets to set one stipulation. So nobody, from what I've watched when this house rules happens, the opposing person to Julia doesn't seem to ever use this dealer's choice correctly. I think Willow can maybe ban Sky Blue from ringside so Julia doesn't have backup, or maybe Willow says we can have people at ringside. I think we may get an answer at Dynasty to who attacked Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale on Dynamite. And I think I predicted it was Chris Statlander. I think Chris did it. So maybe Chris turns on Willow here. But I also like your thinking of, okay, if it's Sasha at Double or Nothing, then it's going to be Willow. But I'm going with Julia Hart. And that hurts me because I just met Willow and she was a sweetheart. But I think Julia retains here because Chris Statlander cost Willow. That's my prediction.
I buy that. I just think that the history between Mercedes and Willow builds for a perfect match of Double or Nothing, and I think they should jump all over that and really build on it. But yeah, no, it really could go either way. Julia Hart is on fire right now, so her winning isn't completely a bad thing. I just think the story writes itself between Mercedes and Willow. Yeah. But I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm not working for them, so what do I know?
Up next is the AEW Continental Championship match. Kazuchika Okada taking on Pac. This is a Continental Rules match. I don't have they're under, meaning basically if there's any outside interference, it's met with strict penalty. That is a Continental Rules match. Okada, Pac, who do you got and why do you got them?
So who gives out those strict punishment rules? Is it the EVPs of the company?
It's Tony Khan. He's a threatening menace.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. Well, either or, we all know Tony Khan doesn't do anything about anything. And I'm sorry, Tony, but I'm so happy AEW exists, but Tony just could hide in the back for all I care. But yeah, this Continental Rules interference is met with strict punishment, but the punishment's handed out by the EVPs, and the EVPs are friends with Okada. So, I mean, really, I don't think the Continental rules mean anything, but you don't want to overshadow Okada's stardom by having a cheap win for him. So let's just hope it all stays clean and nothing weird happens in the match. It's just a clean finish and Okada takes it. You brought in Okada to be a superstar. He is a superstar. He's the biggest thing in Japan. He could be the biggest thing in North America if treated right. So let's give him the clean win here. I want to see Okada take it. I think he will take it.
It's asking a lot for an individual to be treated right and booked correctly, but I think with Okada, we'll be okay. I agree with you. I think Okada will retain. I don't think he's losing anytime soon. I think this will be a fantastic match. Pac was the first double champ in AEW history. Got hurt, had some travel issues, and I think this will be an intense, hard-hitting match. I do think Okada will get the win. Up next is the AEW Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks taking on FTR's Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood in a ladder match for the vacant AEW Tag Team Championships. The build. You want to talk about the build for this, RK? I'll let you go for it. How's the build?
No, I don't want to talk about the build for it. Apparently, CM Punk's involved with the build of it, though.
Yeah. So the build's basically, if you take away the footage and stuff being shown from Wembley with Punk and Perry, just take that away. There is a pretty good build here from the perspective of the Bucks and FTR have put on some banger matches in the past, and I think the last time they went up against each other was at Wembley, and FTR got the win. That was them using the Punk thing as a distraction, trying to build a story, but whatever. I think this is going to be a really good one. FTR, Young Bucks have good chemistry in the ring. The question is, who do I think is going to win? And I'm leaning Young Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to win, and that's a tough choice here because I think that the outcome, if the Bucks win, the promos and the fun that they're going to produce with them holding titles and Okada holding a title, I can see the Bucks taking the win. RK, what do you think?
The bigger question is, what's the star rating of this match?
It's a 5-star.
Already. I mean, the match hasn't been happening. It's already 5-star. After the match, it might turn into a 7-star. That's just a shot at Meltzer as per usual. But no, this match is going to be a banner. FTR, phenomenal tag team, have been for years. The Young Bucks, probably one of the best tag teams in the history of wrestling. As much as I love to make fun of them and talk shit, they are extremely good at what they do. The outcome of this match, man, it is 50-50. I mean, either team winning is huge. Both can carry the titles with grandeur, but I got to go with the Young Bucks. The route that the stories are going right now, and whether it's a redemption arc because they were confused at the last title match, or however you want to look at it, the Young Bucks are in full heel mode right now. They are doing fantastic with it. This current run of the Young Bucks have kind of made me shift my thoughts on them. So I do like what they're doing. They are phenomenal heels. They are phenomenal talent, and I think they will take this match. But man, it's gonna be so close. I expect nothing but probably like it. Yeah, it's gonna be a 7-star match. I don't doubt it for 1 second.
Up next, that brings us to the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm taking on Thunder Rosa. This is Thunder Rosa's first world this is her competing for the Women's World title for the first time since having to relinquish it due to injury back in 2022. This one, I'm just going to be quick with it. I think it's Toni Storm. I think Toni wins, and I think she carries on. I think the person that may end up taking it from Toni later down the line is Mariah May. But for right now, it seems to be still Timeless Toni Storm holding on to this. And I love Thunder Rosa, but I don't see Toni dropping it anytime soon. What do you think?
I'm taking Thunder on this one. I think we're gonna see a little dissension earlier than you think. I think Mariah May is gonna make a move on Tony sooner than you think. Whether the seeds are set at this match or something major happens at this match, I don't know how that looks, but I think Thunder Rosa takes it and Mariah May is somewhat partially responsible for it in some way.
Yep. I agree with you on that one. I was gonna do this one last, but I'm gonna go in the order of from what I understand is happening. So up next is the potential for match of the night, match of the year, potentially here. It is Bryan Danielson taking on Will Ospreay. If you are a fan of professional wrestling, you know how big of a match this is. And okay, the floor is yours. What do you think? What are you looking at? And how excited are you for this match?
Thank God they're finally putting Bryan Danielson against a wrestler that isn't boring as shit. Bryan Danielson, amazing wrestler. We all know this. I've not liked a lot of his previous matches, but I think that's more just opponent and the type of matches they were trying to sell them as. But this match is going to be amazing. I've said it before. I'm going to say it here again. Will Ospreay is going to make Daniel Bryan look like when he won the world championship into the WWE. They're going to elevate each other. Bryan Danielson is such an amazing wrestler, a technical wrestler, but he can also go a million miles an hour, high flying stuff. He's going to pull it all out. I expect nothing but the best from Danielson in this match, and Will Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world right now. So this match is, yes, 100%. I agree. 100%. It could be match of the year potential candidate. Like the two talents are beyond belief phenomenal. So this is going to be a banner match. It's going to be a long match. You're going to have a lot of near falls. It's going to be edge of your seat excitement. I don't expect anything less from these two. In the end, Will Ospreay is going to come out with the win, though.
Yeah, he is the best in the world, bruv, for a reason. I'm seeing and watching Will Ospreay live and in person was incredible. It looks just as good as it does on TV, if not better. Really everything you just said, I agree with. Truthfully, this is a match to show who the best wrestler alive is, and I think right now it's Will Ospreay, and finally we will get a good Bryan Danielson match. It's been a minute. I didn't watch any of his CMLL matches, so people did say those were pretty good, but I didn't have the time to give them a look. This match right here is going to steal the show most likely, and yeah, I'm going with Will Ospreay as well. I don't think Will's going to lose. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while till Will Ospreay loses this match. That's just how I feel. Will may lose a match. I don't know.
Will Ospreay lose in a match? It's gonna matter. It's gonna mean something. It's got to be part of a story why he loses that match. He's not just gonna lose a random set match. It's gonna be because of a story why he loses. You can't just give him a loss.
His loss will happen when the Don Callis family turns on him. That's what I think. That's when he'll get up.
That happened quick enough.
You are not wrong. Both of us going with Will Ospreay over Bryan Danielson. This brings us to the final match, the main event, the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe defending against Swerve Strickland. This match I think it's gonna be a good match. You doubted Joe in the triple threat last time when he defended the title, and with fairness, and he proved you wrong. I think now that seeing what he was able to do in that match, and now he's going to get Swerve, who is white hot. This is going to be a really fantastic match, and I'm just going to get straight to the point. Swerve Strickland's going to walk out of this AEW World Champion, and people can say, "Oh, well, Samoa Joe didn't hold the title that long." It's basically been about 4 months since he won the title at World's End, so I'm going with Swerve. RK, what do you think?
4 months ago, you asked me, Samoa Joe, can he carry a company with the title being the main guy? I would have told you no. I did tell you no. I'm like, this is not going to happen. It's not going to work. Get the title off him as fast as you possibly can. Today, I'm wrong. He can 100% go. He's been cutting amazing promos. He looks amazing in the ring. He's been doing his job. He's so good. And so I apologize to any Samoa Joe fans. I apologize to Samoa Joe. You are the guy, man. You are it. With that being said, AEW would have to fumble the ball so bad to not put the title on Swerve right now. He is, like you said, white hot. Everything leading up to this says Swerve needs to win this match. Joe doesn't need to win this match. Swerve needs to win this match. Swerve loses this match, he loses all that momentum he's had. And you could kill a character right in a loss like that. So I can't imagine them doing that. Would it be completely out of the realm of AEW to do something like that? No, but I just don't see them messing up like that. So Swerve's coming away with the win. It has to happen. He's the guy right now. Joe's been wonderful as champion. I would love to see him carry it longer, but we recently just went through that in WWE. Title reigns last too long. We need more challengers. We need more title switches. We need excitement. We need to know that we're going into a match and we can expect the title to actually switch hands. It gets a little stale when you're like, he's not losing the title here. He's not losing the title. 2 years later, he's not losing the title. So, yeah, I like this. Swerve for the win.
Yep, both of us taking Swerve, and I think maybe Swerve wins it and holds it until they go to Wembley, and that's where he gets the title taken off of him by bruv Will Ospreay. If I'm just booking it for Tony Khan, just there you go. I did it for you. Did your job.
Dude, we don't work for them. Well, you might actually at the rate you're going.
No, not a chance. Not after they hear this episode. No, I'm kidding. I love AEW, honestly, and I'll talk about it once we get to Dynamite. This will bring us to the news and rumor and innuendo segment. RK, I'll let you go first. I'll follow you just in case I have any stories that you had. We can skip them. So take it away. What do you got for me?
Okay, so this might be a complete shit show, or might go well. This is our first time doing this. I've just kind of been, perusing the dirt sheets and just, Facebook pages and everything, any kind of wrestling news that pops up. I like to read it. I like to bring it to Kurt, and I love to hear him call me an idiot for believing anything I read. So, it's the internet. Everything you read is fact. It is. So anyways, as we get 2 weeks ago on NXT, when New Catch Republic, that's main roster, but No Catch Quarter Crew, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
No quarter catch crew. There you go.
No quarter catch crew. Drew Gulak, he was a part of that stable 2 weeks ago when they came out. His name was mysteriously missing from the Titantron. Not mysteriously. Rumor has and allegations have come out that Ronda Rousey said that he was sexually inappropriate towards her. Nothing's proven. We're not saying Ronda's right. We're not saying Drew's right. We're not saying anybody's right or wrong. We're just reading the news as we read it. So WWE removed him from programming. They removed his name from the No Quarter Catch Crew entrance. And then this past Wednesday on NXT, and we'll get to it in more detail, but we found out that he just, was completely written off TV, basically. And we'll break that down when we get there. And, so these rumors and allegations, again, rumors, we're not saying any of this is true. It's just stuff we read, and we're just talking about it. So the most recent thing I read actually earlier today is Drew Gulak may be taking legal action against Ronda Rousey for defamation. So we'll see where this goes. Everything, nobody wants to see a career ruined to allegations that aren't true. But on the flip side, if he did what she's saying he did, then you know what? That's not right either. That's not acceptable, and you need to be held accountable for your actions 100%. So we'll see where this goes. But right now, that's where we're sitting on the Drew Gulak story.
Yeah, Drew Gulak, maybe things come around and everything will work out. And we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. If not, you know, Drew's gone, and they'll be holding it down without him on with the no quarter catch crew. One of my news I wanted to talk about was Matt Cardona. He had surgery. He will be out for an extended period of time. I think it was his labrum. I don't have the exact injury up. It just popped to my mind. So yeah, Matt Cardona injured. He will miss some time. So speedy recovery, hopefully, for Mr. Cardona, and he will be back 100% and healthy and back doing what he does best.
I'm sure Chelsea's happy to maybe have him at home a little bit more right now, though. I mean, actually, she's on the road. She's been booked on almost every show lately, so that's actually probably not even true. She's probably way more than he is. Yeah, my next little bit of news, it's not really news, it's just kind of funny. The whole brawl out incident with AEW happening a couple of weeks ago there, we broke it down a million times over. We keep bringing it up, but this was funny. Forbes posted for the match results of AEW Dynamite that night that CM Punk had defeated Jack Perry. I thought that was hilarious, and I just had to bring that up because, like, Forbes is trolling AEW now. It's great.
I saw someone that was posted by Forbes, and somebody in the comments I saw it on Facebook, commented, "But what was the star rating?" So I'm going to go with it was a 5-star banger of a match. I got the latest on WrestleMania 41 location. It has been rumored that it would be Minnesota. The Minnesota government, who have claimed that they were the front runners and they were going to land the event. Even they were hoping to announce it soon, but there has been no official announcement. Not confirmed, but there is rumors that some within WWE are really pushing for Las Vegas to get WrestleMania 41. So then to add on to that, there was a rumor that they would potentially push WrestleMania either up to March or into the start of May. This would allow them to not go head to head with the NCAA Final Four. I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about it. I think April's fine. Maybe March, but I think April's okay. What do you think?
I mean, we've gotten so used to WrestleMania being in the first week of April. That's just kind of standard now. But if you go back to earlier WrestleManias, they were always held in usually around mid-March. So, I mean, it's not completely out of the realm of that happening. Pushing it all the way back to May is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's too long. That's too far. Your road to WrestleMania, you got to add in another pay-per-view there somewhere. You just kind of screw up the momentum. 2 months to build for a big show. Actually, basically, 2 months from the end of January till, the start of April is a perfect amount of time to build stories for WrestleMania. You kind of push that longer. Stories have run the risk of running stale. So, let's keep it in April. That's ideal. Mid-March wouldn't be horrible. But April it's that sweet spot. It's this perfect amount of time to build up any kind of major story for WrestleMania.
What you got? Hit me.
So the next thing is we something we'll get there maybe. It was actually kind of quiet on the rumor notes this week. Outside of the Drew Gulak thing, there wasn't really a lot of anything shocking. But the main one, another one that I got here is Stone Cold Steve Austin. We were all kind of hoping that we'd see Stone Cold at WrestleMania, and it didn't happen. We got The Undertaker instead, and nothing wrong with that. The Undertaker, and he recently spoke how his last match was the Boneyard match, not in front of fans. So this kind of gave him closure on his WWE career, which I'm super happy for, and it still worked out beautifully. But the main reason Stone Cold didn't make it, there was talks with Stone Cold, but the rumors are right now is that they couldn't come to a financial agreement, and that's why we didn't get Stone Cold at WrestleMania. I find that hard to believe, personally, because Stone Cold loves the WWE. His podcast, his Stone Cold Sessions, Broken Skull Sessions. He loves the WWE. He is an ambassador for the WWE. I think, I this is just my own personal. I feel like he's just happy where he was, and he felt that he needed to do it. I I can't imagine that it'd be a money thing for him. I just can't see that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Stone Cold was worried about money. I think it was just he didn't feel like leaving. He liked hanging out on his ranch with his cat, and he was doing just fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, Undertaker made sense as well. Trust me, I know. Stone Cold would have made fantastic sense to come out and hear the glass shatter and interrupt and hit a stunner on The Rock. But the Undertaker is the locker room leader. He always has been, and he finally showed up to put a stop to the nonsense. So I was okay with it. I got one more, and then you can fire off what all you got at me. There was as we noted, I think we talked about it. Rossi Ogawa and his new promotion Marigold. They will be starting up here soon. It is a Japanese promotion, women's promotion, and it is expected to have a bit of a connection to WWE in some capacity. They are going to be using Julia, who showed up at NXT Stand and Deliver, and will be making an NXT appearance. Rumor is that she will make her first NXT appearance at NXT Heatwave, so keep an eye out for that. And I think that's in May. And so Marigold will be kicking things off, and Julia is technically in WWE NXT signed superstar, but she's going to be doing some work with that. So there's a bit of a connection with Rossi and WWE, and people said that when Rossi Ogawa was let go from Stardom. So I thought that was pretty cool, and maybe we're going to get a little, slight cross branding back and forth with Marigold and NXT or WWE.
Yeah, that's cool. Nick Khan recently said WWE is open to working with other promotions. What that means exactly, it's hard to say. Obviously, we've had some TNA stars show up lately. We had Jordan Grace and Mickie James the last couple of years from TNA. So they are open to it. It's not like, WWE's aware that there's other major promotions, and there's other promotions and wrestlers everywhere. They're all in it for the same goal, to entertain the fans. So if WWE can find a way to entertain the fans better, then I'm all for it, and I'm sure they're all for it too. Just don't hold out any hopes that we're going to get a forbidden door between AEW and WWE anytime soon, because that probably just will never happen. But hey, you never know. Here's something that might piss you off. Actually, I know it'll piss you off. Is Dave Meltzer finally released his star ratings for WrestleMania, yes, I knew it. Most of them, yeah, whatever. This is just some guy making up imaginary numbers about wrestling matches, but for some reason it means something. The only ones that stood out at me as complete bullshit was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. That's a 5-star match all day. Bailey and Io Sky, he gave 4.5. That should have been a 5. That was one of the greatest women's matches I've seen in a long time. And probably the greatest match of WrestleMania, hands down. Sami Zayn versus Gunther, that should have been over 5 stars. That was such a good match, and he only gave it 4.5. So, it's Meltzer. What do you expect? It's WWE. He seems to hate them for some reason, and so that's all I got on that. What do you got to say about that?
I'm not mad. I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, was I expecting anything better from bitch ass Dave Meltzer? No. Got what we're at this point. What do I even care about these stupid ass star ratings? It's one man's personal opinion. Whatever. If we're going off of what we think, if it's out of 5 stars, Sami Zayn and Gunther, 5-star match. Don't care. Fuck you, Meltzer. That was a 5-star match. It was amazing. And I'll give him a little credit. Night 1, sure, not a main event. Night 2, the main event of Night 2, Cody Roman and all that happened, that was a 5-star match. That is a match that people will remember for years and years to come. There's 5-star matches that Dave Meltzer has put on his list that nobody even fucking knows about because they have to go look it up on his stupid-ass website. That's all I got.
Okay, I knew you get mad, and I love it when you get mad because it's great. Last couple things here. WWE is cutting back on production costs, so we're going to start seeing smaller production from them. We're already seeing it with the smaller screens at Raw and SmackDown, and they're gotten rid of their augmented reality stuff that they show on TV. It just makes sense. It's a business standpoint. It's not indicative of anything. It's just them going, You know what? We can make more money by cutting back on this because our product is that good. We don't need to have all these massive, flashy whistles and bells to sell this.
Mhm.
Our talent sells it, so it makes sense.
I got a bone real
Big
quick.
Go ahead.
I got a bone real quick with you Canadians.
What?
WWE was on a hot streak. Sellout
Whoa.
after sellout after sellout.
Oh,
And what happens? They go to Montreal. That's all I'm saying.
the
That's all
Bell
I'm saying.
Center is bigger than any of your guys' arenas. I don't know.
Right, carry on. I'm just saying.
That is actually shocking because Montreal is well known as a wrestling community. Yeah, it's the hype is going to die down a bit after WrestleMania. You kind of got to expect it. They weren't going to sell out 86 weeks in a row or whatever Bischoff claims he did. I know what it is. Don't yell at me. I know what the 87 weeks means.
83.
Anyways,
Jesus 83.
Christ. There we go. See, 92 doesn't even matter. Ratings don't matter. Tell that to AEW. Big E said gave an update on his health this past week. He's neck scans are in from year 2 here. Things are not unchanged. His neck isn't fully healed. He's not medically cleared to wrestle, and he figures he's probably never going to wrestle again. That sucks, man. Big E, I'm sure WWE's going to keep him around and keep doing what they're doing with him, but it sucks that we're not going to get to see him in the ring again. Never say never. Edge came back. A lot of guys have come back, but his is just not healing how it's supposed to, so better to be safe, right?
And he kind of said he was content. He's all right. He's okay. And I'm happy for him. And he posted pictures with his girlfriend, Mia Yim's sister. So that was pretty
cool. That's awesome. I'm happy for him. If he's good with it, I'm happy with it. It sucks, but he seems to be okay with it, so that's good.
Got anything else?
Let me just quickly scan here. Oh, one last thing. Dave Meltzer again. He seems to have, I don't know what, he must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed or somebody said WWE was better than AEW. I don't know. He just came out firing in the last couple days. First on Tatum Paxley. I hate that character. Hate it. It's just a waste of time. It sucked with Alexa Bliss. Sucked with Alpha Fire. And then Isla Dawn did it, and it wasn't good with either of them, and she's the worst out of all of them.
It's not the same character, Dave, you idiot. What, because it's a spooky character? Is that what we're talking about? Because it's a spooky character? Then he better criticize Julia Hart and Sky Blue for their spookiness. Fuck off, Meltzer. Go ahead, carry on.
Like I said, he just has something against WWE right now for some reason. I mean, he always has, but he seems to be firing off hot right now. Tatum Paxley responded to that. She posted his comments on it, then right above it said, "And I have a match next Tuesday where I'm going to throw rocks at a bird. Don't miss it."
Tune in.
So that's pretty funny. She's got that triple threat match, and she just says she's going to throw Roxanne at Tyra. So I kind of like that. That was funny. And then you told me it's her boyfriend or husband. But Javier Bernal hit back at Dave Meltzer as well and said, Dave Meltzer is a waste of time. Doesn't he need us to make his little fake rankings anyways? Mm-hmm. So he's not wrong. And what else do I got? Oh, yeah, Dave Meltzer also went at your boy Trick Williams. Saying that he's not that good. And then in the same, and you know what? Criticism, Trick Williams, he's in NXT for a reason. He's developing. There's going to be missteps. He's not 100% wrong. You even said that. But the thing I didn't like about that is in the same breath he says, when guys are in the match with the Young Bucks, they look amazing. He's just off sucking the Young Bucks' dicks all the time. So, yeah, you could say that, but then he had to throw that in there, and that just pissed me off. Like, he's always talking about the Young Bucks.
No. First, who does he think he is to just have the right to just say it without... I don't get it. I really don't get him. And Trick, yeah, sure. Maybe he needs a little more work with his in-ring ability. He's got more charisma in his left nut than Dave Meltzer's had in his entire life. Okay? Trick Williams can go to AEW right now and stand in the ring and talk better than anybody on that roster for the most part. And then if he has a single match, and if it was in the Tokyo Dome, Dave Meltzer would probably give it 7 stars. Jesus Christ, put him in a tag team against the Young Bucks. Dave Meltzer might freaking die from overexcitement. It's so stupid and it makes no sense to me. Like, what does he get off of this? I don't get it. Like, we do this, we do our predictions, and we have fun, and we give the results, and we talk about what we like and what we don't like. But I feel like every time Dave Meltzer comes up, it's trashing WWE and blowing off AEW and New Japan. Where's the even? Where's the even? And I'll bring up the argument that everybody brings up. You know, Kurt Angle doesn't have a 5-star match. Like, Dave Meltzer's
That's
pointless.
wild. That's
He's
wild.
stupid. He's stupid. Dave Meltzer is an idiot. And congratulations, you know a lot about the business. But there's a lot of people in this business that don't really know you and give a fuck about you. That's simple. That's all I gotta say. Carry on.
What you sent me the picture is who was talking shit about Meltzer before podcasts were even a thing? What
Roddy
was that
Piper.
picture? Yeah.
Roddy Piper cut an interview and basically told him to fuck off with your rating system. Or
I
no,
laughed when you said it.
Meltzer said something happened in the match, and Roddy goes, and Roddy at this little show he did, he said, "And idiots like Dave Meltzer want to talk about he did this and this. That's not even how it happened, you fucking idiot." And in the words of Bruce Pitchard, was he there? No.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't there. It's all rumor and innuendo.
off, Dave.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got this week. Yeah, I just love reading news about it, and I just little things like that, and having conversations about it, because really that's what it is. We're having a conversation about a hypothetical situation that another person's given a hypothetical situation on. So really, it's like hyper theoretical inception, or I don't know. Anyways, that's all I got for the news, rumors, and innuendo this week.
I'm gonna start off the results with Windy City Riot. Probably fly through it honestly pretty quickly. And I will stop on a couple of the matches. I know RK, you wanted to hit on one, and you want to hit on the very first one, which was Max Vandergriff taking on Zane J. What did you think of this match?
First off, it's Matt Vandergriff, not Max, but
My bad.
which is fair. They're up and coming stars. I don't fault you for getting his name wrong there. I just know it very well because I kind of did a little quick deep dive into him, just based off of this match alone. It was a quick match, 3.5 minutes. It's basically they're both graduates of New Japan Pro Wrestling's academy. It's kind of like their NXT. That's not televised, but anyways. They do this for a lot of their shows. They have pre-shows with these guys. The winner of those matches get to have a shot at kind of like a main card match later on down the road. Matt Vandergriff has been in 3 of them now. He has won all 3 of them. And really, just watching this quick little match, there was a couple moves Matt Vandergriff did that just kind of was like, holy crap, okay, this guy's got it. So hopefully we start seeing more of him in New Japan. I want to see some longer matches, see how he does, but he looked amazing in those 3.5 minutes. I was blown away, and it just stood out to me.
Yep, I agree. It was a really good match. Shout out to Matt Vandergriff. He got the win over Zane J. Another opening match was Alex Windsor, that is Will Ospreay's missus, teaming with Trish Adora to take on Mina Shikara and Viva Van. This match was a victory for Windsor and Adore. Up next, we got Ren Narita taking on Minoru Suzuki, and Narita gets the win. He hit Suzuki with a foreign object to get the pin. We're going to stop on this next one because it was the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Azumi taking on the champion, Stephanie Vacour. RK, take it away.
All right, well, I'm going to start off with we were watching this match, and I'm like, AZ, what? And then they said her name. I was like, how am I supposed to get a Azumi from that? It's AZM. But anyway, so apparently it's Azumi. I didn't know who either of these ladies were before this match. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, you and I just got into New Japan basically like 4 months ago. So we're still catching up on all these different, areas of the world that they all wrestle in.
Yeah, this is Strong. So we haven't even really dug into Strong, really.
Well, it was a Strong pay-per-view that got us into New Japan, though. So
it's true. It's true. Go ahead.
But I was really impressed by Stephanie Vacour. She's got the look. She looked phenomenal in this match. And Azumi looked really good too. But Stephanie Vacour stood out. And maybe I don't know. I haven't done a deep dive or anything. Maybe she's been a big star in. She's from CMLL, I believe.
Yep.
But maybe she's already a big, huge star, and I'm just completely blind to the fact that that's the case. But she looks that if she isn't, she's going to be. She looked phenomenal in matches. She really stood out. I want to see more Stephanie Vaquer matches, and I think we're going to be getting that coming up between her and Alex Windsor. There was a little standoff after that match there, so see where that goes. But yeah, I'm all for Stephanie Vaquer. I want to see more of her. She looks amazing in the ring. She's a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah, I agree. Stephanie Vaquer, shout out to her. She is fantastic. And you did mention it. Windsor showed up after Vaquer's win and challenged her for the title at New Japan's Strong Resurgence. And once we get done going through Windy City Riot, I'm going to read off. There are quite a few matches already announced for Resurgence, so I will read those off after we get through this. Up next was the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship match. The champions were the GOD, El Fantasmo, and Hikaleo, taking on TMDK, Mikey Nichols, Shane Haste, and the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Jarrell Nelson, Royce Isaacs, and then the team of Fred Rosser and Tom Lawler. The winner of this match was TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. The outcome of this was West Coast Wrecking Crew taking out Rosser and Lawler. They cut Lawler's hair and put it in their mouth, which I thought was disgusting.
Yeah, you ever get a hair in your mouth? Oh,
no, it's terrible. It's terrible. Up next was the match that went viral on social media. Shota Umino taking on Jack Perry, and this is coming off the heels of the backstage footage from Wembley being released, and Jack Perry played into the heat. He played into the CM Punk heat. Mind you, this match was in Chicago. He came out with a riot squad and a flag and all sorts of stuff. He stole a couple of Punk's moves in the match. What'd you think, RK?
Well, just to touch on that, he did steal a couple of Punk's moves in the match, and that was his ultimate downfall because he ended up losing to Shota Umino because he tried to go for the GTS and got flipped around against him, and he ended up losing the match because of that. But overall, I just want to bring up this whole brawl-out situation. Yeah. The only two people, in my opinion, that can use it to their advantage in any way are Jack Perry.
This is the Wembley fight, right? What was the? Are we mixing up the two, or am I wrong? Because there was the one that nobody can talk about.
Oh, that's right. So the brawl out.
That's brawl out. This was all in. This was all 100%. In.
Okay, good. You're keeping me in line because I'm just going to start,
because I was just thinking about it. I was like, nobody can talk about brawl out.
everything on the internet is real. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Jack Perry, CM Punk are the only two that, in my opinion, can benefit from this whole story. And I love that Jack Perry leaned into it. I thought it was amazing.
Wrong. I got to stop you. Wrong. There's one other person who mentioned it last time. Drew McIntyre can also benefit from this, but carry on.
Good God.
He's got it.
Did you see what Drew posted? Because CM Punk did that WrestleMania picture with Drew, and Drew posted is like, I remember when Punk said that he didn't have to use another man's name to sell.
Yeah, anyways, he's selling the shirt. Drew McIntyre's. Yeah. And
so
I'm not gonna dig too into it, but CM Punk back when he was in WWE back in the day actually had a shirt that said "I broke Big Show's fist" or some shit. But carry on.
I don't think they actually sold that shirt though. But anyways, nonetheless. Can I just say that Jack Perry looked amazing? Okay, what he was doing with this, feeding into it, the nuclear heat from it, it's poetry. I love it. Jack Perry, 100% behind you for this, man. Keep doing it. Ride this up. It's going to send you... What now?
Sorry, I just thought of something. You were so right in saying that. Because I agree that Jack Perry is going to benefit really well from this, and he did so well with it. Why did I just think in my head, oh my God, we did our Dynasty predictions? Jack Perry might pull up at Dynasty to help the Young Bucks. Oh my God, sorry, carry on. I had to have that moment. It makes sense, though.
100%. And I think, Tony Khan, if something like this
Shit.
falls in your lap, fucking
It
use
makes
it.
sense.
Fucking use it.
It makes
So,
sense. Never mind. It's not happening. Fuck.
Right now, yeah, exactly. So right now, Jack Perry, like, I don't even know where. Just keep on it, man, because this is how this should be used. Jack Perry was involved with it. He can use it 100% to his benefit. Some will say CM Punk used it to his benefit with that interview he did. I have nothing against the two of them using it to their benefit because they were the ones fucking involved with it. Everybody else, keep your fucking nose out of the business. So anyways, yes, so Shota Umino did get the win against Jack Perry. It doesn't hurt Jack Perry anyway. Actually, it might benefit him even more because he lost because he was trying to punk. So, and also shout out to Shota Umino. He is the son of Red Shoes, and he's been on a meteoric rise in New Japan. And he's going to be the IWGP champion sooner than later. He is on a meteoric rise. I love to see it.
We'll get to that after we wrap up these results. And I just wanted to point out that Jack Perry, even though he is a quote-unquote bad guy, he was having fun with the crowd. He laughed at him a couple times. He flipped him off, whatever, as he was leaving. He did shake Shoto's hand, shoot his hand. So
he's fucking killing it. He should keep on this, ride this out until he can't ride it out anymore. It's the best thing that could have happened to him. He should be thanking Punk for this happening.
Maybe he texted him. Who knows? Up next was Chicago's very own Mustafa Ali taking on Hiromu Takahashi. Mustafa Ali got the win. We might spend a second on this one. Riot Rules match. This was the entrances would you wouldn't know the entrance until the entrance happened, and it was Team Gabe Kidd versus Team Eddie Kingston. Team Gabe Kidd, it was what I expected, was Bullet Club members Gabe Kidd, Kenta, Clark Connors, and David Finlay taking on Eddie Kingston's team of himself, Homicide, TJP, and Jeff Cobb. I'll be honest with you, man, I was upset. I was upset that we got, basically, it was all New Japan guys. I thought Eddie Kingston was going to pull up with some guys from AEW, but he didn't, and that's fine. And Bullet Club War Dogs get the win over this one. Is there anything you had with this match? It was a bit of a... It was just a throwdown match, really. It was just anything goes, go crazy.
It was an okay match. I think I said at one point, it didn't play off as a hardcore match quite as well as it could have. I'm not... Call me an idiot. I had no clue who Homicide was. I'd ask you. You told me. Apparently, the guy's a big deal.
He was. He's an OG.
I got to do a bit of a dive into him. He didn't look fantastic in this match. I get it. WWE does this all the time, dude. Bring in old dudes and they just go up to get a pop. So I get it. Obviously, he's somebody because he came out to a huge pop. I'm going to definitely be looking up some stuff on him because I'm guessing he's a hardcore legend of some sort. I love hardcore shit, so I'm definitely going to look it up. But overall, the match was good. It could have been better.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best way to put it. And the winners of this match were the Bullet Club War Dogs. Up next was the New Japan World Television Championship. Matt Riddle defending against Zack Sabre Jr. I don't have much for this match. I wasn't really a fan of the match. I love Matt Riddle. But Zack Sabre Jr. does get the win. Is there any little note you wanted to add that happened with the end of it that you may have read in your dirt sheets?
So apparently the internet community and the wrestling community was up in uproar over Matt Riddle no selling the finish and just leaving right away and celebrating with the fans. They said it was a bit of a disgrace to the championship, like he didn't really care about it. I'm pretty sure in the post-match or post-show conference that they had, he said he didn't really give a shit about the title anyways. The internet saying he no-sold the finish. I mean, it was a backslide, a roll-up. The match wasn't that great. I wasn't paying 100% attention to it, but I think it was like a roll-up or a backslide pin for the finish. I mean, how do you no-sell a pin like that? You just got pinned. It wasn't like you got hit with a finisher and you kicked out after one hook. So, I don't know. He got rolled up for the pin and he left. I mean, I don't really. I think you're reading into it too much. As for celebrating with the fans after a loss, It's Matt Riddle. I mean, what do you expect from the guy? He doesn't give a shit. He failed a cocaine test twice in 1 week or some shit. I don't know. He doesn't care. He's just there doing his shit. He wants to make money. He can put on good matches. He was a phenomenal MMA fighter. He had a wicked record when he was fighting. He was like 7-0-2 or some shit.
Yeah, and he got fired by a UFC because he failed a drug test for marijuana, which now is okay. So it's just kind of crazy to me. But carry on.
Shocking. So, I think the internet being an uproar over the finish and how he acted is a little,
Yeah.
just chill the fuck out. So that's all I got to say about it. I don't think Matt Riddle really did anything all that wrong there. It's for a title called the Television Championship. I mean, come on.
Up next was Nick Nemeth, formerly Dolph Ziggler, taking on Tomohiro Ishii. This was a pretty good match, hard-hitting match. Nick Nemeth is honestly, I think the word underrated can get thrown around with Nick Nemeth. He gets the win. I thought this match was pretty good. I don't really have much to say on it. RK, do you?
No, not really. Only what you brought up. We were talking a few days ago how Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, was the guy in WWE that you called when shit went south. Hey, we got to fuck up in a match. We need you. Yeah, I'm there. And he would come out and do his job. He is a phenomenal wrestler. He looked amazing in this match. Dude's in his mid-40s, and he still goes, and he looks phenomenal. He doesn't look like he's in mid-40s. So
Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, though he was Dolph Ziggler for what I'm saying. Probably my number 2 favorite Money in the Bank cash-in of all time when he cashed in on Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, man, that was so good.
Right, that was incredible. Number 1 will forever be Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
The final match, the main event, was the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Tetsuya Naito defending against Jon Moxley. And you know what? RK, take it away.
Man, I was so torn in this match. My favorite New Japan wrestler is Naito. Love his shtick. He's that no nonsense. Comes out in the suit, takes his time. He's funny. He plays to the crowd. And this match, he did it perfectly. Taking his time, putting the track pants on, off, on. Like Jon Moxley, like, come on, can we go? And I loved it. Love Naito and he's also a phenomenal wrestler. And he's got one of my favorite finishers in the industry, the Destino. Love that finisher. So I was torn because then on the flip side, you got Jon Moxley, one of my current all-time favorites. Slowly creeping up, nonetheless, to top 10 status. Absolutely everything Jon Moxley do. I said at the beginning of the match, what's the over-under on Moxley bleeding in this match? It's a guarantee in a Moxley match. I love it. He goes out there. He's a workhorse. He always gives you the best possible match he can give you. And they did not disappoint in this match. This match was phenomenal. I loved everything about it. And I'm happy for Jon, man. He deserves that title. He has worked hard. He said it himself. His goal coming into New Japan Wrestling was to get that IWGP Championship. He's finally done it. So happy for the dude. The belt looks great on him. And yeah, not a better person to beat Naito for the title, in my opinion. And Jon Moxley being an AEW guy, I don't think he's going to hold on to this title for very long. But the fact that he's won it, he can add it to his accolades. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, no, Jon Moxley, it was, we'll get into a little bit of it when we get to Dynamite. It was incredible. I'm assuming watching on TV, but I was live. Either way, him coming out with the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on Dynamite in Indianapolis, it was really cool to see. I think he deserved this 100%. The crowd in Indy chanted he deserved it as well. And Moxley got the win, cutting a promo about wanting to be a fighting champion and not ducking anyone. He challenges his tag team partner of recent, Shota Umino, to be his first challenger, but gets attacked by Ren Narita, who uses that push-up bar he used to beat Minoru Suzuki with. Umino comes out to make the save. Moxley says Narita is a dead man. What do you think?
Yeah, when Moxley tells you you're a dead man, it's probably true. Yeah, that's gonna be a good match. Renegade is no slouch in the ring. A pissed off Moxley is not a good thing for anybody though, so I expect Renegade to get an absolute ass kicking when it happens. Um, it is totally cool, and this goes back to what I was saying about Umino looking great in the ring. He's meteoric rise. For Moxley to call him out as his first challenger, that's huge.
Well, I hate to break it to you, RK. That is not his first challenger.
Well,
because I got some news for you. I got some news.
Wait, well, okay, what do you got?
I got
Lay it on me.
some news. May 3rd, New Japan Wrestling Dantaku. The card has been announced. I'm going to go through some of the card real quick for you, and I'll get your reaction and see what you think on some of these matches. The Global Championship, the IWGP Global Championship, the champion Nick Nemeth taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Okay.
New Japan World TV Championship, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jeff Cobb. Yawn. There's a couple I'm going to skip that really don't have any matter, but there'll probably be some good matches. I'm just seeing if there's any that pop out. So that is night one. The main event of the night one is Nemeth versus Tanahashi. Night two.
Tanahashi is amazing. That's going to be a good match.
Night two, which is on May 4th. Did I say that right? Yes, May 4th. May 4th be with you. Couple matches to look at. Okay. They're going to do a little tag match. Nick Nemeth and Tanahashi will be teaming together against Taichi and Sanada.
In New Japan fashion, have a tag match after a main singles match.
The Never Openweight Championship. Shingo Takagi defending against Gabe Kidd.
Okay.
But the main event of night two, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Jon Moxley will be defending against Ren Narita.
Oh, yeah, Ren's not winning. Oh, he's going to get his ass kicked.
Okay, so from there, that brings me to May 11th, which is New Japan Strong Resurgence in California. There's already been some matches announced for that card as well, and I'm definitely going to love your reaction on some of these. Strong Survivor match, Matt Vandergriff taking on Adrian Quest.
There we go. Let's go.
And I did a little look at Adrian Quest just to see if I knew anything about him. The only thing I got is his finishing move is a 630 splash. So, okay. Another little athletic competition coming there for our boy Vandergriff. Fred Rosser and Tom Lawler are challenging the West Coast crew. I would assume so. They got to get their get back for having hair put in their mouth. So, yeah. That's going on. We have Bullet Club, David Finlay and Kenta taking on Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji.
Let's go, Naito. I'm so happy that he's right back at it. That's awesome.
The Strong Women's Championship, Stephanie Vacour will be defending against Alex Windsor.
Let's fucking go.
Strong Openweight Championship, no rope, last man standing match, Eddie Kingston versus Gabe Kidd.
Holy crap, dude. This fucking card is a banner.
And
Jesus
the main event,
Christ, man.
The main event will be for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Shota Umino versus the winner of Jon Moxley or Ren Narita.
It's Umino's final exam, as Jon Moxley put it, because Moxley has trained Umino, so it's got to be Moxley. But nonetheless, man, that card is a banner.
Yeah. So yeah, they have, as I said, so May 3rd and 4th. Is the New Japan Wrestling Dantaku that will take place in Japan, and then May 11th will be the New Japan Resurgence, the Strong card in Ontario, California. So
nice.
I don't know why
that's awesome.
Like that, but there you go.
I don't know, because Ontario is in Canada, and I know there's one I'm aware there's one in California.
It's the way
Ontario.
It's why
would you say Ontario? Ontario,
I carried it through Ontario, California. I said it like a freaking chick that lives in California. All right.
No, you said it like you probably would normally say. You're just trying to hide the fact that
okay. All right. We'll move things along. That's it for really New Japan talk right now. We're going to get into the WWE SmackDown from April 12th, 2024. I'm going to try, and I said it last week, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I am going to try my best here and just go through and talk about what exactly happened. We had Cody Rhodes he was out there. The usual video package of Cody beating Roman Reigns. He came out to kick off the show. Talks about Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and he quoted his wife, Brandy Rhodes, "Who the hell told you it was open mic night, bitch?" And he said it like that, but that is not how Brandy said it. The bitch was really more hitting with Brandy. What'd you think of Cody firing back at The Rock here?
Man, a lot of people are. I mean, I don't know why all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the hate for Cody is happening.
It's coming. What'd you expect?
It's like, but and I'm not saying that because the live crowd ate it up, and he's still over his shit, and he deserves to be, and he will be for a while. Shawn Michaels even said in the book, once you win the title, they want to hate you for it.
What did John Cena? Did you read off the quote that John Cena said to Cody?
No.
Or maybe it was somebody else. So what John Cena told Cody Rhodes after he won the title at WrestleMania.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that was a couple of shows ago that I talked about that. Yeah.
Put it in your hand. It feels heavy, doesn't it? That's because So I mean, the open mic night, bitch, whatever. The main takeaway I had from this though was where he sent out a warning to the challengers of the WWE Eliminator tourney that if they come at the King, they best not miss.
100%. Better not miss.
This led into the first match for the Contenders Eliminator Tournament. LA Knight versus Bobby Lashley versus Santos
Say that again.
Escobar. Jesus. Say it again. LA Knight versus Bobby Lashley.
First part that you couldn't say.
The number one Contenders Eliminator Tournament match.
What?
LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Santos Escobar. There was a spot backstage where LWO was interviewed backstage. They said where Mysterio said that karma has its way of coming back around and stated that he believes he has one more run as a WWE champion. He said that because he will be he's in the main event. Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens is the main event of this. So back to LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Santos Escobar. LA Knight picks up the win. Did you think it was going to be LA Knight, or did you have expectations of maybe it not?
I mean, overall, LA Knight, yeah, that was my initial thought. I mean, Bobby Lashley maybe, possibly, but I mean, you kind of know where SmackDown WWE's going with this because the main event of the night is AJ versus Kevin versus Ray. And, there's a little get back between LA Knight and AJ Styles. So I kind of expected LA Knight on this one. Overall, the match itself, it was good, but having that many run-ins during the triple threat for the number one contenders, however you want to explain it, that many run-ins just kind of made it feel like made the match feel secondary to what it should have been. So I didn't really like that so much. But yeah, LA Knight, 100% right now, LA Knight, AJ Styles is the way you got to go, right?
Yep, AJ does get the win later in the main event. We'll break down a little bit of the match, but really there was not much to break down in that main event. It was a good match, and AJ gets the win later. The Bloodline do come to the ring. Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Paul Heyman. Heyman talking about how they need to be held accountable and put over that Cody Rhodes is the champion. He was about to say that Roman Reigns would rise again like a phoenix, but Solo Sikoa interrupts him and says that losses have consequences. He walks up to Jimmy Uso, gives him a hug and says, "You're my brother," backs away, and he is attacked by a mysterious figure in a hood. This was revealed to be former Ring of Honor and IWGP Tag Team Champion Tama Tonga.
Man, what is WWE doing in bringing in these nobodies and not telling us who they are?
The marks like us. We knew who Tama Tonga was. There's some people
100%.
But that's fine. You're going to find out. You're going to find out.
Oh, you are going to find out. Tama Tonga is a beast, and somehow he looks younger now than he did 8 years ago.
And I can't wait. We're recording right now as SmackDown's going on, so after this gets over, we got to catch up on SmackDown, and I'm hoping we get a little more Tama Tonga. So carry on. Sorry.
100%. Tama Tonga is amazing. We've over in New Japan, we've watched some of his matches with the name's escaping me right now.
His tag team partner?
Yeah, Tonga?
Oh, Tongaloa.
So, I mean, hey, you never know. But, it is a cool little surprise. It was kind of led up. I mean, there were sightings of him in Detroit before the show and everything, and he's been signed for a little bit now. So it was kind of expected at some point here. The turn on Jimmy, didn't exactly see that coming, but it makes sense because
Whew, there's so many
Roman
ways to go.
when Roman Reigns, remember that little interaction or promo they did months back now where Roman Reigns named Solo Sikoa the next tribal chief
Oh yeah,
in line over Jimmy? It makes sense. It's all coming to fruition now. This is long-term storytelling, people, and this is why the WWE is the best at it. They drop hints months in advance of stuff they already know they're going to be doing later on. The story changes over time a little bit, but they always stick to their points, and they drop these little hints, and it always comes to fruition at some point, and it's always so amazing when they do it. So you and I had a good chat about this, and it could go any number of ways, but Solo, I mean, I think it could be leading up to like a war games between the two bloodlines. Who knows? But it's wherever this goes, it's just the bloodline story continuing on, and I'm so happy for it. And this is a solid sign that Roman is far from done with this.
Yeah, if I had to book the War Games style match of the Battle of the Bloodline, I think we may get The Rock, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga. Who else would there be though with that? Jacob Fatu maybe?
Jacob Fatu, he's apparently signed to the WWE now, or he's going to be signing, or whatever is going on there. He is apparently within the WWE family now. 100% you could bring him in. Again, I mean, not necessarily direct bloodline, but I mean, there's so many possibilities of what could come up with that.
This is me fantasy booking here. Two ways to go with Team Roman Reigns: Roman, the Usos, and Zilla Fatu. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He's one of Rikishi's sons, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong there. Don't want to get too far into that. Or Sami Zayn. You know, honorary Us. Sami Zayn.
He's an Us. He's an Us.
Never know. You never know.
He's an Us.
That was that. The one other point I wanted to point out was Paul Heyman went to grab his phone and do the usual call Roman, and he couldn't even get it out because Solo took Heyman's phone and stomped it. So this looks like Solo's gonna start his own thing here, and he's gonna go on a warpath, and we'll see how that works. Up next was a squash match. Braun Breaker takes out Cameron Grimes. Simple.
That was hilarious. We came back from commercial, and Cameron Grimes was standing in the ring, and we're like, oh no.
Oh no. I knew exactly where it was going.
And then Braun Breaker's music hit. It's like, yep, sorry there, Cameron, but yeah, you're about to get your ass kicked.
Up next, Bayley. Bayley comes to the ring. She cuts her promo, and she's proud to be the new WWE Women's Champion. And she has issued an open challenge. And it led me, okay, who's it going to be? Tiffany Stratton comes out, accepts the open challenge. Bayley denies it and says no, she's going to give it to Naomi. Naomi comes out, and then the back and forth ensues, and we get a match later in the night, Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. Actually, I think it was right after this. Tiffany versus Naomi. Before we get to the results of the match, who did you want to come out of this with the win?
Out of this? Naomi, 100%.
Okay, fair.
Like
fair.
Out of this match coming up between Naomi and Tiffany? 100% Naomi. I know you're a Tiffy time guy, but Naomi has she was brought back. She came back. She came back to such huge pop at Royal Rumble there. And she's kind of been just a secondary character since she's been back. She's had some matches, but they've been giving her losses. So I'm like, you know what? You don't bring a woman back like that to a big pop and then just have her lose all the time. So I'm like, you got to give her a little bit of like, you know, some love. So I wanted Naomi to win this match outright. And just to go back to what you said about Bayley there, she didn't issue an open challenge. And she clearly stated that towards Tiffy when she said she'll do it because she said it wasn't an open challenge, but I'm going to have to take care of you first now. So anyways, nonetheless.
This leads us to, well, my page has frozen. Just kidding, we are back. Naomi does get the win over Tiffany Stratton, the jackknife cover. Pretty good match. Naomi will take on Bayley, and as we speak currently, right now, she'll be taking on Bayley on SmackDown next week. We get a little video package. A-Town Down Under. They're not there. but they're having a good time. And New Catch Republic and the Street Profits are watching it with Nick Aldis, where Aldis said there will be a challenger for them next week, and them being A Town Down Under. Logan Paul uh, talks about where he claims that they are now in the Logan Paul Levesque era. What'd you think of that?
So stupid. I
That's
laughed
so
though because it was funny. Little side note: Jim Ross, legend, recently came out giving his support for Logan Paul and how great he's been doing. So
yeah.
good job, Logan. You caught Jim Ross's eyes. That's not a bad thing.
That's as Cody Rhodes calls him, cowboy. That's cowboy right there. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill get a little squash match against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green.
Oh,
Uh,
Chelsea.
anything you want to add to this one? It was a squash match. Bianca and Jade get the win. Jade gets the pinfall with her finisher, Jaded. But anything, Chelsea Green?
Hey, let's go, Chelsea. She's been getting a lot of TV time here, so it's not a bad thing. She's been out a lot lately. She's also out on Raw, as we'll be talking about right after this show. Well, not this show. This whole show is one show. We're talking about
Yep.
the show of SmackDown into Raw, but nonetheless, yeah, she's getting a lot of TV time, and I'm all for it. I love Chelsea Green.
Good
That was
job.
horrible. Yeah, horrible. Let's leave that to Samantha. I love it. I mean, she does her job so well, and it doesn't hurt Chelsea in any way because it's her character. That's what her character is, and it only makes her character better with these squashes.
Yeah. No, I agree. She's playing her role perfectly. Up next, Kevin Owens. He's being interviewed by Byron Saxton, and Kevin just says, "You know what? I'm going to take the microphone." And he says, "The camera, walk with me." So we get one of our fantastic one-shot entrances. He
So
has
fucking
a
good.
Detroit Tigers WWE title with him, knocks over a CM Punk shirt that's on a table, and keeps on walking and says that Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles, they're on his path to the WWE title, and no one's going to stop him from getting his hands on that title. Well, AJ Styles does stop him. He takes out Kevin Owens and Rey Mysterio. He wins with an Avalanche Styles clash, setting up LA Knight versus AJ Styles again, which, as we're recording right now, but when we're reading this off, it'll be next week on the SmackDown episode. AJ Styles, LA Knight, one more time.
AJ Styles, LA Knight, one more time. I don't think this will be just the one more time though. This story could potentially grow more. I see AJ coming away with the win against LA Knight. LA Knight beat him at WrestleMania, got his WrestleMania moment. Like I said, we both said it doesn't hurt AJ in any way whatsoever taking a loss there. AJ is a legend. He is a Hall of Famer. He will go down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. But I see him getting the win in this next match, and that sets up a rubber match. I mean, it's 1-1. You can't just leave it at 1-1. So
That's true.
AJ Styles is going to get his shot at Cody Rhodes, which is going to be a banger match. And then I think we get AJ Styles and LA Knight again somewhere down the road. It's not over yet. So obviously we're going to watch that match here shortly in real time. But yeah, I see AJ taking that match against LA Knight.
Let's move to WWE Raw, April 15th. Results and recap. Show kicks off with Rhea Ripley. She comes out and she announces that she is having to vacate the WWE Women's World Championship due to an injury she suffered at the hands of Liv Morgan. There has really been no full timetable given of how long she'll be out. She said for months. Liv Morgan comes out and wants to fight. They both want to fight, and they get separated by security. We get a heart-touching moment as Ripley goes backstage and says farewell to the Judgment Day for now. Where's your head at with, sadly, Rhea Ripley having to drop the title?
Man, when you told me about that earlier in the day on the Monday, I'm like, it's got to be some kind of angle, right? Like the whole Liv Morgan attacking her thing, and then, reading into it more, realizing she actually did separate, basically where the shoulder connects to the collarbone is separated. And, yeah, with surgery, it's usually about a 3-month healing period, so she could be back in time for summer. She's going to come back for her title, but it's a hit to the women's division, man. Rhea Ripley is just so damn good at everything she does, and she was on fire, and it's a hit. there's a big opening for somebody else to take that ball and run with it. And you better run with it fast because Rhea's going to come back and she's taking her title back.
Yeah, 100%. Whoever's holding that title when Rhea comes back, look. We get Sheamus. He makes his return match against Ivar. He's got his old music. Sheamus gets the win against Ivar. Anything you wanted to hit on with Sheamus coming back?
100%. To all the fucking people that call him fat and out of shape and all that shit, he could kick the living shit out of you in a second. Shut the fuck up. That's my honest opinion on that. We're all talking about body shaming these days and whatnot, and you can't body shame people, and you come out here and talk shit about Sheamus. The dude had a broken neck. He probably couldn't work out for months on end. And for him to come back and look as good as he currently does with that much of a layoff, shut up. He looked amazing, and I'm so happy Sheamus is back, and he's got his son back. So to all the people that talk shit about Sheamus, just shut the fuck up.
Hey, I echo that. Up next, Triple H comes out. Him and Adam Pearce are here. There's something covered up in the middle of the ring. It's titles, and they're the new Raw Tag Team titles to give to Miz and R-Truth. This is a funny little segment. Some people hated on it. I'm not. I thought it was funny. R-Truth being R-Truth, telling Triple H to his face, "You can't fool me, Tommaso Ciampa." I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, what do you think of the new titles?
The new titles, I'm so happy they got rid of those Raw ones now. If they figure out how to get rid of the SmackDown ones, because those titles I haven't liked them since they came in. I mean, I didn't know. So I didn't watch wrestling for a good period there. Thankfully, it was through a period where it wasn't that hot, so I didn't miss a lot apparently. But those titles came out at some point, and the first time I saw those titles was like, what are those? So
like a big
I'm
coin.
glad. Yeah, they just don't look good. So the new titles, they're going for a motif, obviously, because now the women's world title, the world heavyweight title, and the tag team titles, they all have a certain similarity to them, which I get. You know, they're branding Raw as Raw. They're going to brand SmackDown as SmackDown. They're trying to separate the two identities. I totally get it, and I like the new titles. They're big and they're loud, and they just scream championship gold. I love them. The whole segment, say what you want. Some people said it went on too long. I think that was the whole point of it. It was supposed to get uncomfortable because that's just our truth. And he got Triple H to crack a couple times, and I think that's the whole goal of R-Truth's meaning of existing in the WWE is to get people to crack on live TV. So he did his Triple H. I love it. The whole thing, I loved it. Anybody who hated it, I guess you're probably not much fun at parties, I guess. I don't know.
That's a fair way to look at it. This led to the number one contenders match for said titles. It was DIY taking on the New Day and the Creed brothers. DIY picking up the win. They'll be the first opponents for R-Truth and The Miz. What do you think of DIY picking up the win?
I had them to win the title at WrestleMania, I believe. So getting the win here and getting to challenge R-Truth and Miz for the titles, huge. Love DIY. They were, I want to say I've been a fan of them forever. Honestly, again, didn't watch wrestling for a good period there. I didn't know who Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa was. When I came back to watching wrestling, Ciampa was up on the main roster doing single stuff, and I'm like, I don't get this dude. And then he showed me some matches of NXT days. I was like, this guy is God. So I love this whole thing. DIY deserves the shot at the titles. They probably can't see them winning them this quick.
I do.
But
I do.
It could happen. Either or. I love it. I love DIY. I want to see them keep pushing. They're just so much fun. And them leaning into this whole DX thing, I love them even more for it because DX is like one of my favorite factions of all time.
Up next, Drew McIntyre watching footage of CM Punk costing him the match last week, and he kicks the TV over. He will be in the main event. I'm sorry, he was in the main event last week where he took the loss to because of CM Punk. that's all we got to drew for the night. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Simple little match here between Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile. But the main point was Indy Hartwell turned full heel. Did this catch you off guard at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure if WWE just kind of like shifted on their plans or this was their whole plan, because it just seems kind of out of left field, because they were pushing for so many weeks there of the Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae splitting apart thing and her not digging what Candice was doing. Then all of a sudden she kind of bought into it. So it worked because I paid more attention to those two as a tag team in that moment than I have in the last 3 weeks. So it worked. They whatever they decided has worked. I love it. It was totally out of left field and I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's about all I got on that. I mean, it was a quick match. I think it was like 3.5 minutes. But yeah, the big thing was Indy Hartwell finally buying into Candice LeRae's
nefarious means. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the big word. Judgment Day, they're in the clubhouse getting amped up. They're going to remind everybody that they are the Judgment Day. And they hype up Dominic for his match against Andrade. Didn't hype him up enough. Andrade gets the win against Dominic Mysterio. JD McDonough comes to the ring to attack Andrade. Ricochet makes a save. We're getting a little tag team match between Andrade and Ricochet against Dom and JD McDonough. So I'm excited for that. That should be a pretty good match. What do you think?
That match could potentially be a banger. 2 years ago, Dominic Mysterio in a match was a wild card because he was still figuring it out. But I think I mentioned to you recently, Dominic Mysterio actually is starting to look really good in the ring over the last half year. So
the Destroyer, the Canadian Destroyer you hit?
On the apron? Like, that is such a risky move to do on the apron. Like, on Wild. And Pat McAfee with the greatest things, like, this country's Destroyer. So, because they're in Canada, I loved it. But anyways, where was I going with this? Yes, this match, Andrade, top notch. Ricochet, one of the most athletic wrestlers ever. Dominic Mysterio only keeps getting better, and he has nuclear heat, so it's amazing. And then JD McDonough, which, you know, recently have been falling in love with that dude because the dude was the MVP of the WrestleMania there. So yeah, it could potentially be a banger of a match.
Cody Rhodes comes out of the wait, did I miss something here? Oh, I did. I almost forgot about our lovely Chelsea Green. Her and Piper Niven get a win over Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. So hey, Chelsea Green getting a win. Shout out to her.
Hey, like I said, you know, Chelsea Green's been all over TV lately. It explains itself. The woman is absolutely beautiful. She is hilarious. She buys her character so well. Get her on TV as much as you can. It's not going to be a bad time.
Cody Rhodes comes out. This is Monday Night Raw. Just to reiterate, he comes out and tells the crowd he is officially a SmackDown superstar. He thanks Adam Pearce for allowing him to be this. In this position, he talks about the LA Knight AJ Styles match, talks about The Rock, says even though The Rock plans to come back and make him bleed, he plans on making The Rock bleed too. Gives Seth Rollins a massive shout out. And Jey Uso comes out and he asks if you need me, I'll be in your corner. And Jay says, no, I got to do it myself. This was kind of Cody's farewell to Raw, and he will officially be a SmackDown superstar now. What do you think of that becoming official?
It's kind of wild that the last thing Cody says on Raw for what could be a little while is until we yeet again. But we'll just kind of glance over that little dad joke. Yeah, no, Jay, this is Jay's chance to shine. I mean, we were talking about Jimmy's being turned on by the bloodline there. Obviously, you know, at some point you got to get Jimmy and Jay back together. It's inevitable. Those two as a tag team are amazing, but Jay's on a trajectory to the stars right now. He is a main event bona fide superstar. So It still blows my mind that every time he comes out, Pat McAfee just goes nuts and starts dancing on the table. And the thing that blows my mind is Michael Cole seems to think this is something new every week because he's like, Cole, what are you doing? Get down from Cole. He does it every week. Get over it. So
he's yeeting on himself.
yeah. So yeah, man, get Jay and Jimmy back together. But this rise for Jay right now, it's hard to deny that he can do it on his own. He can do it on his own. That's what he did with Cody. So I love it. I love everything Jay's doing right now.
We get a backstage interview with Liv Morgan as she's getting booed. She makes a couple moments, a point that I agree with. She said, where was this reaction when she was hurt by Rhea Ripley? Rhea Ripley hurt her and she was sidelined for months at a time. She says that her revenge tour is not over until she wins the WWE Women's World Championship. And I think we will get that match on Raw next week.
Yeah, but did Rhea yeet a chair at her head?
That wasn't the injury, though.
Rhea. It might as well have been. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It is. She got injured by Rhea, and Rhea didn't get any backlash from the fans on it. And
Liv, from the fans, yes. Yes.
I'm not saying from outside of kayfabe, which kind of dead these days, unfortunately, because I love a good kayfabe story. But outside of kayfabe, Liv's got no heat on this. It was a freak accident. It happened. Shit happens. It's wrestling. It's a physical sport. It's not fake. So, yeah, that's it. She's got no heat from the locker room. The fans are turning on her a bit because of it. But you know what? He's right. Rhea injured her, and there was no backlash from the fans. So she's not wrong.
Watch her. Jey Uso, Finn Balor up next. Jey Uso gets the win. Nothing really to harp on with this match, but Judgment Day comes out to jump Jey Uso. He gets the upper hand, and we get potentially the greatest camera shot to entrance in Raw history as he walks out of the arena. Sami Zayn is looking up, and he gets Sami nice and hyped up for his title defense against Chad Gable. And the entrance, before we even get to the Intercontinental Championship match between Sami and Chad Gable, the entrance, man. What did you, as a Canadian, what did you think?
Man, that was so cool. The whole time watching it, it goes to show that wrestling fans are something else. These guys are wrestling superstars to the fans are like, Taylor Swift to Swifties, we idolize the wrestlers.
New album.
Yes,
Swift new album out.
Okay, cool story. We're not talking about Swift. Okay, well, I guess I did bring her. It's my fault. I'm sorry. But anyway, so as a fan, growing up, and even now, I'm 38 years old, and I still get giddy over wrestlers and shit because it's hard not to fall in love with wrestling. I've watched a documentary recently twice in 3 weeks because it's on after Dynamite every time on TSN. It's Kenny Omega. It's a Canadian series. They talk about Canadians impact on different things in the world, and they have one on Kenny Omega, and it's called Kenny Omega: A Wrestling Love Story. And it truly is because, it's fun. It's something that we can disconnect from reality to just have a good time and, idolize these people. And, idolize, people go, you shouldn't idolize people. We all do it. We all idolize over something. And throughout most of my life, I've idolized so many wrestlers. So back to my point here is Taylor Swift could not walk through a crowd of her fans and not get potentially mobbed. Yeah. But Jey Uso can walk through the crowd and there's no crazy interactions, right? They're all just kind of giving him taps and whatever. And
he did shove that one guy out the way, but
that was just funny because that guy was just in his way, but he wasn't attacking him. He was just back to him and he was walking.
He was trying to take a picture. He was trying to get a selfie, and Jay was like, "Get out of the way."
Nope, not happening. So, but that's what I mean though.
Yeah.
Think about people that are in the limelight and huge stars. How many of them could walk through their fans and not get absolutely mobbed, right? Mm-hmm. So wrestling fans kudos, good job on, allowing a shot like that to happen, because if you guys are all crazy, if we were all crazy when we went to these shows, we wouldn't get cool shit like that happening. So kudos to the wrestling fans for allowing that shot to happen, because really that shot doesn't happen without the wrestling fans behaving themselves. But yeah, this new producer of cinematography, whatever he is, brilliant. Fucking love it. It shows just how many people go to those shows, man. Oh,
The entrance. I mean, just the amount of people, the reaction. Obviously, home. He's home. Yeah, and just the fact that it was the single camera shot for the longest, from Jay to outside to talking to Sammy inside, and like you said, the production of that. Lee Fitting is his name, the man that replaced Kevin Dunn. Lee Fitting is doing a fantastic job with everything, and yeah, the entrance was beautiful. The match itself also really good. It's what you expected between Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. Crowd was white hot for Sami, of course. Sami does get the win. The match itself, there's really nothing to hit on. So what happened after? Chad Gable raises Sami Zayn's arm in the middle of the ring, rolls out. Sami goes over to kiss his wife, and some hands lock Sami up, and Sami eats a suplex, and then he gets a full heel turn here for Chad Gable. I was really wanting to see this. What did you see that coming?
Not that brutally. Like that was the classic heel attack the guy right in front of his family move. I wasn't expecting it quite that brutally. It's not like I'm saying like he murdered him or anything, but you know what I mean. Like it was a drastic change from what Gable is. I like it though. Gable with a mean streak could be something good, because Gable deserves, it's not like he's not getting his moments, but he deserves those big spot moments. He is that good. And yeah, I'm all for it. And I think there's a couple guys in the locker room that are all for it too, because one of the Creed brothers posted willing, ready, and ... So
Gable.
You know it. So I mean, the Creed brothers down in NXT, if I'm not mistaken, were of the heel variety down there.
Yeah.
So it could work out beautifully. What that means for Akira and Otis and Maxine, I mean, that's another angle of the whole story. I know Akira, he tweeted something afterwards.
You are my coach. I will always follow you. So
yeah. So, but
maybe it's just a big Chad Gable faction. Everybody.
Maybe, and I'm all for it because Chad Gable's awesome. But that it's all coming together, and this is just, again, storytelling. You need it in wrestling. You could just throw on these matches with no story, and it kind of means nothing. So yeah, I'm all for it.
It makes you ready to watch next week's episode of Raw for sure. Brings us to NXT on April 16th. We get just a simple Vic Joseph, Booker T saying hello before we get to Noam Dar with the the group of Jakar Jackson, Lash Legend, and Oro Mensah taking on Dijak, our boy Dijak. Pretty good match. Noam Dar looked really good in this match. Dijak always looks good. Dar does get the win over Dijak though, with a Nova Roller running Gamanguri. Little distraction help, of course. What'd you think? Noam Dar picking up the win by nefarious means, but this was a pretty good match to open up NXT.
100%, man. We make fun of Noam because he kind of looks like a stoner and doesn't.
His render on freaking WWE 2K does, that's for sure.
How many times did Noam win the Intercontinental?
Dude, he was your MVP. He was holding
for
tight.
Like week after week, like just won every match. But yeah, no, Noam's good. He's around for a reason. Will he ever reach that top tier talent level? Probably not. But where he sits, he does it perfectly. He is a phenomenal wrestler. I was blown away by this match, actually. It was a banger right off the hop. And yeah, it works. Dijak losing doesn't hurt him here because it wasn't a clean loss. It was through distraction. So overall, just a good match to open up NXT. And I just want to point out quickly, like, talking about good matches right off the hop. AEW always claims that, they're about wrestling and stuff, but I mean, NXT, and I'm just taking a shot here because I can, but NXT is a 2-hour show. AEW Dynamite is a 2-hour show. NXT this week had 8 matches in 2 hours, where Dynamite only had 5. So just throwing that out there.
Up next was Lola Vice taking on Sol Ruka. Pretty good match-ish. I think Sol Ruka is fantastic. The finish came when she went for her cartwheel off the top rope. Blair Davenport moved it away to send her crashing to the mat to allow Lola Vice to pick up the win via it's a wannabe black mass. It'll never be as good as Aleister Black's. But yeah, Lola Vice gets the win. What did you take away from Lola? Getting another dub.
So I talked shit about Lola a few weeks back. I've been proven wrong. She's not as bad as I said she was. So maybe it was just a one-off match. It was really the first match I'd seen her in. So I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk shit about it before I know better. But and I should know better. So I apologize off the hop for that. But yeah, she's looked better these past few weeks in her matches. Overall, this is just setting up Sol Ruka and Blair Davenport. That's the whole point of this. They have that history. It's going to build into something big. And, it's a good chance that Sol and Blair are going to be competing against each other for that NXT Women's North American Championship. So, see where that goes.
Natalya cuts a promo on the Titantron challenging Lola Vice to an NXT Underground match. So that'll be coming up. Not really got much to add to that. But we will have to add.
I got something.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I asked because I was confused as all hell. Has NXT done underground stuff before? Or is this something new?
Yeah, they have.
Okay. So have you seen any of those matches in the past?
I did, man. There was one I saw, and I'm gonna look it up just to be safe, just so I don't get the wrong. It was Eddie Thorpe versus Dijak.
Okay, go ahead.
It was Eddie Thorpe versus Dijak. It was December 26th of last year. That was the last one I saw. But no, it's not normally a regular thing.
But okay, because when I heard Underground, my mind popped back to that horrible thing that Shane McMahon tried to do a few years back, where the last hour of Raw was the Underground stuff, and I was just like, no, don't do this. So I'm just hoping NXT pulls it off better. Okay, good, because I don't know. I came back. It was like I said, long hiatus from not watching wrestling. I'm back now, but when I came back, that was kind of when that was popping off, and I was just like, "What? No, why am I coming back to this?" So that was right before the virus stuff. So, glad that didn't become a thing. But I'm hoping that this. So I got my reservations about this, but this could be good. I'm open to seeing it again, but I just have bad taste in my mouth from underground matches, so called. So see where this goes, but.
Fair enough. Yeah. Ariana Grace sitting down at a park with Gigi Dolan tells Gigi that they have to go dress shopping so Dolan can become a proper pageant queen. We'll get to that later on. Ridge Holland gets a match against Joaquin Wilde. He gets the win via hammerlock DDT with Sean Spears watching from the ramp. Anything with that? Okay.
Other than the fact that it is Joaquin Wilde and not Joaquin Fisher, I will forever have that popped in my head every time I see Joaquin Wilde now. But yeah, this whole Ridge Holland thing, I'm glad he's wrestling. I'm glad that whole thing that they did a few weeks back wasn't, I guess, serious. It kind of bothers me now that they did do that, because it really made no sense in the grand scheme of things. They could have just made him do this without that. It just, I don't know, it seemed cheap now. But overall, good match, nothing major. But you knew it was going to happen because of what Ridge did to Cruz del Toro last week. So
we get Josh Briggs getting checked by medic backstage, where he told him he was cleared to compete. He faces off with Ivar, where Briggs tells him, Ivar tells Briggs to take a couple weeks and heal up. He knows better. Briggs says no, go back to Raw, and then they get a match scheduled for, I think, later in the night.
Okay.
Yes, that match does happen.
Yes, you are correct, 100%. Ivar versus Josh Briggs. But so On Raw, Ivar is a Viking, but on NXT, he's a biker? Like, I'm confused. But anyways,
No.
it's just, like, what's going on? I know, Josh Briggs told him, go put on your war paint, we got a match later. So, I get it, but it's just kind of funny seeing Ivar outside of his Viking getup because it's just, he just looks like a gnarly, badass biker. So, you know what? He probably is.
He does. That's fair. That's very fair.
So that's all I got from that. I laughed a little bit because I'm like, okay, so it's just they're all normal, dude. You know what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Thea Hale, Andre Chase are having a conversation backstage where Andre admits he threw in the towel for Hale because he was worried about Thea getting hurt. He lost all of Chase University's money, but because he truly believed that Thea Hale could outlast Tiffany Stratton. Thea Hale apologizes, and they embrace. That's how it's supposed to go right there. Thea Hale we can't have it upset Thea Hale, okay?
No, never. Thea is the greatest thing to ever happen to WWE, and if she's not happy, I'm not happy.
Fair enough. You hinted at this earlier in the episode. The family, they come to the ring, cut a promo where D'Angelo said that toughness came from longevity and he was aiming to go back to the top. No Quarter Catch Crew comes out, and it's just Charlie Dempsey, Miles Osborne, and Damon Kemp. This promo, by the way, and I'll let you speak on it, from Dempsey, not great with the mic. D'Angelo takes some offense and for interrupting them. Why are you interrupting the family? And almost saying their business was public. D'Angelo said that he thought Dempsey's Heritage Cup looks really nice, and he asked Dempsey to pay up. And I'll let you take it, RK. What did the No Quarter Catch Crew need to pay up about?
Well, we don't talk about what they need to pay up about.
Oh, you're right.
No, you don't talk about business like that. I like this. I like this. They handle business. Yeah, exactly. They handle business. This is WWE. This is NXT. This is Shawn Michaels, Triple H. They're trying because Drew Gulak hasn't been officially released from the WWE. He's been put on per se hiatus until all this allegations get sorted up. Whether he's in the wrong and the right, that doesn't matter. This is WWE trying to get out ahead of that and keep the story rolling, and they did it really well. They hinted towards that. They took care of somebody for the No Quarter Catch Crew. I loved it. I thought it was great. I laughed. I'm like, wow, this is actually really good. Thank God for Tony though, man, because that whole promo could have just gone right into the shitter. Because Charlie Dempsey, he looked like he missed cues to speak. Charlie Dempsey needs to go talk to his father about how to cut a promo because it was just bad from Charlie, man. I hate to bag on these guys because it just makes us look like, we're just talking shit, but it just wasn't good. And Tony saved that because Tony carried that. And if it wasn't for Tony, that would have just been a very, very bad promo.
Up next was the NXT champion Ilya Dragunov coming to the ring for his open challenge. The entire locker room, the state, what Ilya wanted was the first man to look him in the eyes, face to face in the ring. The whole locker room comes out and they're brawling. But my guy, my dog, the young OG, Javon Evans jumps over the broadcast table into the ring, and then he jumps over Ilya face to face. We get Ilya Dragunov versus Javon Evans, and I know when we were watching it, I didn't think it was for the NXT Championship. And I'm reading off a website. I'm reading it off of Fightful.com. That's where I go through my results. And they have this listed as the NXT Championship Open Challenge. So maybe this was for the title, RK. So maybe I was wrong in saying that. No, it wasn't. I think it was.
I don't. They might be wrong. We'd have to go back and watch it. But normally, even in an open challenge like that, the ref will still show the belt and go through the whole
that's true.
Motions of a title match, right? They have certain set standards of how they present their title matches, even down on NXT. So that didn't happen. I think even while we were watching it, I mentioned it, and you're like, no, I don't think it is. So yeah, tell us if we're wrong. I don't know. I don't think it was because there just wasn't the whole setup for it. I think it was just a match, honestly, but it was a great match. Javon Evans, they're pushing him. They're pushing him. You don't put a kid in a second TV match against your main guy unless you're pushing him. So, and it wasn't a squash match. They gave him plenty of time to show his shit, and the end result was proper. It took, Ilya's finisher, his torpedo, his Moscow torpedo, to finish him, and it was a good back and forth. It was a great match. Javon's got a future, man. He's good.
Yep. Big fan of Javon Evans. I am. Been preaching him for a while, and I'm happy to see him. And he's going to get that push. We'll see what he's got. Carmen Petrovich gets an interview with Kelly Kincaid, saying she will train Natalya ahead of her NXT Underground match next week. Lola Vice interrupts and said she'll surprise Natalya and Carmen with who will be in her corner next week. So that leaves it up for question marks who it will be. I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, it could work. They're bringing a lot of main card talent down to wrestle. I found it kind of funny that Carmen said she was ready to help train Natalya when, in actuality, Natalya trained Carmen.
Well, you have to understand the underground rules. It's almost like an MMA style, and Petrovich does have the MMA background.
Okay,
So I think that's where they were going with that.
Okay, I get it. See, this is why you're better at this than me. No.
Okay, easy.
Easy. Calm down. Relax. Wait, what? No, but
you deserve it anyway.
Yeah. No, this is how we always chat to each other. We're fucking goofs. But that's could be fun. It could be fun. Yeah. I mean, I'm still not sold on this underground stuff. Let's just hope it's better than the WWE shit they did.
What do we got here? Up next, Solruka. She gets a match, no DQ match against Blair Davenport next week. Tatum Paxley will be taking on Thea Hale in the next match. Tatum does get the win here via, of course, a distraction by JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. So, that's not it's one of those wins for Tatum. And brawl breaks out with Thea, JC, and Jasmine Nix. And Lyra Valkyria shows up and attacks Tatum Paxley from behind. It was all chaos after this match, RK.
100%. It was a 3-minute match. The actual match was only 3 minutes long. It was only setting up two things. It was setting up JC Jane and Thea Hale, and it was setting up Lyra and Tatum. That's what this match was all about. The ending of a match doesn't matter at all for this match. It doesn't hurt anybody. It was all about setup.
Yep. And then we cut to Roxanne Perez backstage where she doesn't mind seeing Paxley and Valkyria tear each other apart and maybe give the Survivor a title match before following up by making fun of Ava's abilities as GM. Ava says, okay, bet. I got you, Roxanne. You're getting a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship for NXT Spring Break, and Tatum Paxley versus Lyra Valkyria versus the champion Roxanne Perez. Squash match incoming. Authors of Pain defeating Malik Lade and Indris Info. Anything with this tag match?
This is just NXT WWE setting up a big bad tag team down in NXT with AOP. They have history there. They're one of the most dominant tag teams in NXT history down there. They have a lot of followers down in the NXT world. They need a big bad team now that Braun and Baron are not a team down there anymore. So
and the tag champs did come out, so I think we're getting AOP versus the tag champs of Axiom and Nathan Frazier. So we'll see.
100%. And there's worse guys than AOP that you could be doing this with, because AOP, you believe that Akim and Rizar are big bad motherfuckers.
It's so cool seeing them back in NXT because they were dominant. So yeah, I'm
100%, and I hope this is what gets Karrion, some of his steam back, because
Karrion two-time NXT Men's World Champion Karrion Kross.
I've been saying it for weeks now. I want to see Karrion succeed. I've always liked his character. He's a big methodical wrestler. I'm not always for that style, but he pulls it off and it looks good, and I just want to see him be successful. So if NXT is what that takes him to get his steam back, then I'm all for it.
Ariana Grace and Gigi Dolan, we're back with them where they're shopping for some dresses. Grace shows Dolan a dark green dress. Dolan says no, but then she goes, maybe. And Dolan says, let me make some of my things to it. And she goes into the dressing room and she makes her adjustments to it. It looks fantastic. It's very Gigi-esque. And she wears it out the store and says she's buying, by the way. And Ariana Grace asks, do you take credit cards? And then pulls out like 10 credit cards. So I thought this was really good.
I'm pretty sure those are all paid by Santino. Shout out to Morello. Man, it's a fun little skit. Ariana Grace is so good at what she's doing. She pulls off that, I'm a pretty princess role so well. And man, Gigi, if I was 20 years younger, I would get in trouble with Gigi. So she's phenomenal. I want to see her get back to wrestling. She's a great wrestler, and this is just keeping her relevant right now. I'm not sure why she's not wrestling that much.
Light bulb. I just thought of something. Maybe Gigi Dolan's the first NXT Women's North American Champion.
Oh? Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of good choices, but I like I said, I just want to see Gigi back in the ring. She's a good wrestler, so
yeah. I think we're getting her versus Ariana at some point, right?
I mean,
you would think.
Something's got to go south. They're building something up. They're not just doing this for shits and giggles. I mean, maybe they are, but maybe this was all about getting Gigi in a dress, and that was their whole goal of the last 3 weeks.
It's
here.
Good shit.
But it's fun. It's fun. It's so much fun. I love Gigi. Huge fan of hers. And let's get back to wrestling too, though. Let's get her back in the ring. It's been a minute.
Ivar defeats Josh Briggs via pinfall with a Doom Salt, a pretty good hard-hitting match. Just solidifying that Ivar is better than Josh Briggs, and he's coming for Oba Femi. We get to hear from Oba, not much from him. He just gets a little laugh and says that Ivar challenging him to a match was an interesting proposition. As he walks out, he slams the door on Mensa again as he makes his walk to ringside.
I love those characters that just take a beating and go with it because it just makes it fun. It's like Chelsea Green. It's like Mensa. It just becomes a running gag, and go with it as long as you can before it becomes, okay, this is getting old. But even when it gets old, it's still hilarious. So I love it. Overall, Ivar versus Oba. That's a meat match. Ivar is good, man. I mean, I can't wait for Eric to get back and start running the Viking Raiders again. But right now, Ivar is holding his own in the singles category. He's doing good. I love to see it.
We get a little video package in the build-up for the main event. Just recapping Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes ahead of this steel cage main event of the show. They get a little quick interview with Carmelo where he says he will take everything away from Trick Williams' ungrateful ass and promises to make sure Trick would not make it to night one of Spring Breakin' in one piece. This was good. It was a good match. It was a steel cage match. Trick Williams does get the win with a chair-assisted Trick knee. Pretty good, RK. I don't really have much to say to it. Trick wins. This was Carmelo going out on his shield. His final match, I think, with NXT. What did you think of the main event here?
In typical NXT fashion, yes, Carmelo going out with the loss. They do this with all their big stars leaving NXT, going up to the main roster. It sets Trick up to be the face of NXT for the next little while here. Mm-hmm. Dave Meltzer would tell you otherwise, but screw that guy.
Don't get me started.
Yes, so screw that guy. Trick is the real deal. They're down in NXT for a reason. You gotta get this. NXT is developmental. There's gonna be mistakes. I'm gonna talk shit about wrestlers and then 3 weeks later have to say I'm sorry because I was wrong. They're developing. It's the reason they're down there. Trick has the charisma, and he only is going to get better in the ring as he develops, which is what NXT is for. Probably an unpopular take. You're going to disagree with me, but I kind of like this match better than their Stand and Deliver match.
I can actually agree with it. I think it was better. I think the cage helped.
Um, it felt big. It felt like a big time match. The finish was cool. I liked it. I thought it was a great match and a perfect send off for Carmelo because he's off to SmackDown to do what he does best, and that is kick ass.
Strick stares down Ilya Dragunov, who is in the Raven's Nest. They will be taking on each other for the NXT Men's Championship. Spring breaking the first night of it. And yeah, if Trick loses, he has to leave NXT. If Ilya loses, he's leaving NXT. I think Trick's going to beat Ilya. So basically, Trick gets the win over two guys that are going to go out on their shield and move up to the main roster. So that will be next week, I think, on NXT, or it could be 2 weeks away. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check
No,
myself.
you're correct. It's the last 2 weeks
Yeah,
of April,
gotcha.
or the last week of April, first week of May, whatever it is. It starts next week.
So before we get to AEW Dynamite, which is when it was in Indianapolis, which I was a part of, honestly, I feel like I can do this on this show. I'm gonna break some news, RK.
Oh,
Cool with that? A couple things.
is this anything I know?
Probably not because it just happened. I'm doing this
okay,
as we speak.
Cool.
It was reported, Becky Lynch revealed today that Seth Rollins worked WrestleMania night 1 and night 2, and sorry, night 1 and night 2. He had a torn meniscus.
Oh,
What a warrior Seth Rollins is for that.
see this is the respect for that, man, because they're there to entertain us and they put their bodies, their health, their careers on the line for us every time they do this. Nothing but respect because phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. That's crazy to do that. There's no reason he should have to do that. He could easily have bowed out. They could have figured it out, but he's like, no, the show must go on. That guy is a legend for that.
I have a tweet that was sent out by Jinder Mahal. He tweeted, "I quit. Maharaja out." And his bio says free agent in 90 days.
He's just playing it up, making it look like a thing. His contract was up anyways.
Well, there's more to it. There's more
okay.
to not
well, you're gonna make me look like an idiot for saying that. His contract was up this year. It's not like was a big surprise.
I know, but he tweeted, "I quit." I know, whatever. Another announcement: Xia Li is no longer with the WWE. She posted on social media that it has been over 7 years since I joined I'm not going to read the whole quote. Over 7 years since I joined WWE as the first female Chinese superstar. Thank you to the WWE and Triple H for welcoming me into the big family. I've grown tremendously. Thank you for your trust and the opportunities you've given me to break barriers. Thank you to all coaches, colleagues, and staff. I want to thank the WWE fans. Your cheers not only motivate me, but make me feel endless love and support. The journey with WWE has been wonderful, and I thank everyone who has been a part of it. This is not the end, but a new beginning. So Xia Li, no longer with WWE.
You see, and that's awesome she said it that way because, that's the case. It's a business, people. And y'all can run with whatever you want. Saying, oh, this person is leaving because, WWE sucks at, treating their gut. Like, I read stupid articles today about how payments for bonus. I didn't even look into much because it's all just stupid people talking stupid shit. But it's a business. There's so many places they can go. There's only so many matches like the shows are only so long. There's only so much any one person can do. How many people you can get on a show at one time? Either you're hot, you're the person, or you're not. You go somewhere else, you get big. Look, Cody Rhodes had to leave the WWE because he wasn't happy with his position. He went out, made himself in the indie scene, created a fucking wrestling company, and now he's back in the WWE, top of the game, champion of the WWE. It's how the business works. You guys can run with whatever you want, say whatever you want, they mistreat it, whatever. It's all bullshit. These guys know the business, and I'm so happy she put it that way. Yes, she hasn't been used. Time to move on. Find a different company to work for. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, let's get into it. AEW Dynamite from Indianapolis, Indiana on April 17th. I was live in attendance, very blessed. I will just say, in the position I was put in, thank you again. A shout out to AEW for being accommodating, allowing me to get a ticket and giving me a ticket, and my seat was on the hard cam side. I was basically right under the hard cam with a
Were
couple of my
you
buddies.
were you the only? Oh, there was two other people on the hard camp side with you.
There's actually quite a few people on the hard cam side.
I'm kidding. I'm
No, you're
kidding.
fine. You're fine. I was just gonna, there was more people than I actually expected to be on the hard cam side. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I said with a couple of
Sorry, let me cut you off.
Good.
Let me just say, watching that show live, I'm sure. I think I don't know the exact numbers. I haven't checked on the exact numbers. I like to look at it because I want to see increase and growth in everything. I want to see I've said this before. I want to see AEW succeed. I'm not one of those guys that wants them to fail. I want them to succeed. I just want Tony to go behind closed doors and never come out. It looked like there were more people there. Whether or not that's actually true, if it was the same amount of people that normally been showing up for shows, maybe it was a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's always hovering around that 2,000 mark anyway. So nonetheless, that's not what I'm trying to focus on here. It's that it was a smaller venue. It looked more packed, and that's good. That's what you want. Stop booking these big giant arenas that seat 18,000 people and can only put 2,000 people in. Book arenas that seat 5,000 and put 2,000. It looks better. It just looks better. It's a better visual on TV. It looks like you're actually packed. So keep that up. Do that. There's nothing wrong with having 2,000 fans, 18,000 fans. It doesn't matter. We're all there for the same reason, to watch wrestling.
Yeah, the Indiana State Fair Farmers Coliseum is where our ECHL Indy Fuel team is playing their final ECHL hockey season in that arena. They're actually moving to a bigger venue in northern part of Indiana called Fishers. It's more of an uppity area, a little fancy. So the current capacity is 6,500. They're moving to an 8,500. So AEW, from what I was told, I don't know the exact numbers. They said they're around 2,500. That's just what I was told. But no, I was really happy
to
be there.
It looked good. It looked good. It looked packed.
Yeah, I was happy. Set with two of my camera buddies, cameramen, really cool guys. They invited me to come out on Fridays to a local indie spot, which I'm going to take them up on at some point. WCWPO, I think I may have said that wrong. There's a couple guys I met. One of the wrestlers that is a part of that indie company. It's apparently the longest running indie company in the state of Indiana. So I'll have to go check them out at some point. The guy's name was James. He looked like he was a wrestler. I'll give him credit for that. So I'm going to go check them out at some point. I did want to hit before we get to what you got to see on TV, RK. There was 3 dark matches that happened before the show went on air. There were squash matches. It was Powerhouse Hobbs. He got a win over a local talent. Sky Blue. Shout out Sky Blue. She had a match against the local talent. She got the win. And a returning Anthony Ogogo. He had a squash match win. He's part of Shane Taylor Promotions. So there was 3 dark matches before the show kicked off. And then we get the AEW Dynamite RK, where Jon Moxley kicks off the show. Did you have goosebumps watching on TV? Because I had goosebumps in the arena.
I would imagine that the atmosphere in the arena would have felt immensely different. I just go back to what I said when we talked about Windy City Riot there. So happy for the man. He is a bona fide superstar. He is the face. If he isn't, he should be the face of AEW. He works shows relentlessly. He flies across the world to work shows. He comes back, works show. He is doing the grind. So yeah, man, I'm just so happy for Jon, man. And let's just point out, one of the members of the Shield is carrying a title again.
That's true. That's a very, very good point. The Shield's still really doing their thing, no matter if they're together in the same company or not. The Shield still is forever going to be on top. Moxley does kick off the show talking about his IWGP World Heavyweight Championship victory. Spoke about how people didn't believe that this would be possible 5 years ago. Set out the challenge to Powerhouse Hobbs to meet him in the main event of next week's Dynamite from Jacksonville, insisting that the Don Callis is feeding the whole family lies, and he says he'll meet all of them anywhere, anytime, any place, and he leaves the ring. First match of the night, the House of Black, Julia Hart and Brody King set to take on Adam Copeland and Willow Nightingale for the match. Before Willow makes her entrance, I'm sorry, her music does hit. She was shown attacked backstage, and the majority of this match was 2-on-1, and Adam Copeland got a freaking beat down this match, didn't he? Man, yeah,
That one
Willow does
spot,
show up. Which
I
one?
don't know with where you were sitting if you saw it very well, but that one spot where he was sitting on the chair by the barricade over in the front right corner, if you're watching on TV, and then Brody came doing the splash onto him on the chair. Oh, that was nasty.
I actually got a good video of that.
Oh, dude, that was nasty. Watching that on TV, it looked brutal, and it looked like for a second, like Adam was hurt because it looked nasty.
I'm trying to see if I sent that one to you. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'll look into it.
You did not. I mean, we were messaging back and forth because that's what we do. If we can't watch it together on TV, I'm going to be messaging you nonstop. But I'm like, I feel kind of bad actually. It's like, but you just watch the show. I always talk shit about people on their phones all the time in the show, but I'm like, this motherfucker better message me back. But anyways, nonetheless,
I did.
You did. You sent me videos. I was jealous, but that one spot, man, just nasty looking. I loved it.
Yeah, Willow does show up to help even the odds a little bit. She gets knocked out by a chain that was wrapped around the fist of Julia, who put her in the rings of Saturn for the victory. There is a beatdown that continues, but the CEO, Mercedes Monet, comes out to help fend off Julia and Brody. A little bit of tension between Mercedes and Willow, but Adam Copeland calms it down and shakes hands. So maybe this leads into your Dynasty prediction.
Yeah, that ending was kind of expected. You're not going to give Julia. I mean, I'm just saying Julia. Obviously, you know, Brody King was involved in that match, but it's really Julia. Mm-hmm. You're not going to give her the loss here, leading into Dynasty. But without giving her the loss here, you know, it kind of sets it up for the loss at Dynasty, and that's kind of where I'm also leaning towards the whole. Everything's just kind of leaning towards Willow taking this title at Dynasty. So let's see what happens on Sunday, but that's where I'm sitting right now on this. It was a good match. It was fun. It was basically Adam versus Brody because, I mean, you're not going to put Adam and Julia against each other. I mean, we're not going to go into it, but AEW recently got hit with something about, you know, women and men wrestling. But
it's stupid, honestly. But
yeah, so dumb. So we're not even going to go into that. You go look up on the internet yourself. But
do better. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, just 100%. But yeah, so it was basically a Adam Copeland Brody King match until Willow came out, and then we got the angle that they were going for, setting up for the match at Dynasty. Really, again, I'm going to say this a lot tonight. AEW got back on track this week. They left that shit behind, and they're moving forward. And they started telling some stories. So I like the build-up. That's huge, and I want to see AEW continue to do this because that's what makes it so good, in my opinion.
Samoa Joe does a sit-down with Renee Paquette talking about Swerve Strickland. Then we get a little bit of a video going on with the Elite, and then it kind of cuts off with the Young Bucks say, whoa, 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 whoa. And then they cut a promo on their opponents that are coming up for AEW Dynasty. That being the Young Bucks and Okada taking shots at Pac and FTR. They were backstage next to Tony Khan on headsets. We get that. The Elite.
That was fun. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Why Tony Khan just sits there looking like a deer in headlights is beyond me. But I mean, at this point, you just got to accept that's what Tony does, I guess.
I had to see Tony Khan like 3 times. He came out and thanked us all 3 times.
Yeah. Again, just stay in your office, lock the door, don't come out. But
the Elite taking on Pac, Daniel Garcia, and Penta El Zero Miedo. What did you think of this match? I thought it was a good one. It was a fun little watch.
It was fun. I think I was a little distracted because I don't remember the whole match 100%, but I do remember the one part where Matt had the mic while he was wrestling.
Yes, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that, you know, back to the Young Bucks have done this more than once. Kenny Omega down in other promotions. They've done this.
It was one in Ireland. I remember we watched that one. TTR maybe? I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
That was
they've done this before, and that was fun. And when he had him up and he's like, "Oh, whoa, put me,"
we're good. We're fine.
That was fun. It was a good match. It was a fun match, and
The
this is why I'm like, I'll talk shit about what's going on, but in the end, the Young Bucks they do their job so well. They're good at it. They're so good at it. It's so much fun. That was just a fun little spot. Little shit like that makes wrestling fun, and you can't lose that. It's
Damn.
supposed to be fun.
I got to break news again. It has been officially announced that not by WWE. This is in the middle of the show, and it's fine. This is what we do around here. We just like to talk about it. It is a confirmation that Xia Li, Jinder Mahal, and Xion Quinn have been released by the WWE. So that's official.
Okay, well, I don't know who that third person is, but
they all have 90-day no-compete clauses, so it is true. Jinder has been let go.
That's standard. Yeah.
Is it standard? Because Punk didn't have anyway. Karen.
It's standard in WWE. It's a no-compete. Well, Punk was gone for 8 years. How could he have a no-compete?
When he was let go by AEW, but go on.
Yeah, okay. Difference. That was...
But yeah, there you go.
We keep
officially.
This is just gonna
we're done.
But anyways, nonetheless, Jinder, not surprised. I mean, his contract was up anyways. I mean,
there was nothing for him.
He probably just has to be released early. That's all. Like, they had nothing for him. The fans never connected with him. He had that fun thing at day one, and then he had a little run there. But, I mean...
Did he?
Sometimes it just... Well, okay, sometimes things just don't work out, and that's wrestling. The fans are going to dictate what happens sometimes, and that's just the way it is. Nothing against Jinder. The guy puts on good matches. I mean...
Does he? Dude, don't do that. No.
Okay, no.
I'm not doing that shit. Stop.
No. Okay.
We're done with that. Jinder Mahal, no. He was WWE champion. Did you watch the Punjabi prison match? Were you around?
No, dude. I didn't watch wrestling during that shit show era.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling it the shit show era.
He beat Randy Orton in a Punjabi prison match. Do you even know what that is?
No idea. Did somebody figure it out though?
It was the stupidest fucking thing of all time. Jinder Mahal, he beat AJ Styles. So that's all I have to say.
WWE
Former
really
WWE champion, my ass. They just wanted the fucking international bullshit to work the right way. You're right. It was a shit show era. Jinder Mahal's title run was a shit show. The Great Khali came out and choked out Randy Orton on a Punjabi prison. I can't even say it right because I don't remember what the fuck a Punjabi prison is. Fucking Google it and you'll see how stupid it looks. Fucking Christ. Good riddance. I hope Jinder has a good time. He got in shape. He's jacked. And maybe he'll go to fucking TNA.
Okay. So, you heard it here first.
The Elite.
Kurt hates Jinder Mahal. That all I want to bring up is that you asked him about the Punjabi prison match and what it is.
I don't hate
no idea.
Jinder Mahal. I hate the way he was booked. That's what I'm saying. I don't hate Jinder Mahal.
No,
the fact that he was WWE champion for as long as he was. If he was WWE champion for a day, it still would have been too fucking long. All right, he shouldn't have been WWE champion. He shouldn't have had a stupid ass match against Randy Orton in a Punjabi prison. I'm gonna keep saying it because that's how stupid it is, and maybe it'll get over if I say it enough.
Was it like a steel cage match or what was?
I'm gonna send you a picture of what the fuck a Punjabi prison looked like. It was the stupidest concept of all time.
Can I get to my point here?
Yes.
My point is, what is a prison Punjabi, whatever match? When they're trying to figure out what to do with Undertaker and AJ Styles during the COVID era WrestleManias, apparently the producers went to Triple H and they're like, all right, so we're gonna have a boneyard match between Undertaker and AJ Styles, and Triple H asked the producer, is like, what's a boneyard match? He's like, I don't know, but it's your problem now.
Look at your phone. Look at your phone.
No, why not? Look, did you even hear what I said?
Yeah, I did. But I'm still pissed off right now.
I'm looking at my phone. What am I looking at?
The picture I sent you.
That's Silky Perry.
Shout out Silky Perry. Silky Perry.
You guys might get to learn who Silky Perry is one of these days here. But okay, so yeah, it is kind of what I envisioned to be, like kind of like a steel cage match with bamboo sticks.
It had multiple sections, dog. It was the stupidest shit ever.
How would you even watch a match like that?
Huh? Because
you can't even see what's going on in the ring.
Because I'm an idiot. Because I was like, I think they'll figure it out. Maybe I was naive. I was naive, is what I was.
Listen,
And I'm so
uh,
mad I was wrong. He didn't beat AJ Styles for the title. He fucking beat Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Not in that match. He defended it in that fucking match. That match makes no.
okay,
I'm done.
okay, okay.
I'm done.
Moving on. AEW today is better than
It's not
WWE.
going to get better for you, okay? It's not going to get better for me or you. Up next, Chris Jericho has a meeting with Taz and
Oh
Hook.
God.
Jericho running down Hook saying he's not as good as he thinks he is. He actually said something that made sense for once. Taz keeps interjecting and Jericho telling Taz to shut up and stop. And eventually he pushes Taz. Hook threatens Jericho and he'll show him how serious he is anytime Jericho wants. Set up the Dynasty match for the FTW Championship. Take it away, RK.
You are fired up. All right, my turn. Just stop. Just make this stop. Make this stop. Okay, Jericho either needs to go away for a long time or just go away. I don't know if this is just Jericho's just becoming, I don't want to say it, but irrelevant. Fuck, I hate saying that because Jericho's a legend, but AJ Styles recently said it. He's planning on retiring soon. He wants to have one last go at it, and he's got some plans. But he's like, you don't want to get to that stage where you're like, that was bad. You don't want to get to that stage, and I think we're in that stage for Jericho where it's just like, dude, stop. This is bad. And then it also could be the fact that I really just don't like Hook. Everything he does, don't like it. And if that's poor writing, that's on AEW. If that's just Hook as a character, that's as a person, I don't know. It's on Hook. But right now, all this doesn't work. I don't like any of it. There's rumors flying around that Hook should leave the AEW and go somewhere else. WWE apparently has some interest. Do something different with Hook. It's not working. I don't like it. Jericho, you just got to stop. Go away, figure it out, come back like you said as under the Judas moniker, or just go away. Eventually, you got to hand it up at some point, man. Like, if you can't do it anymore, if you can't get that, you just got to stop at some point. And I hate saying that about Jericho. I want Jericho to wrestle forever, but eventually you just can't do it anymore. And Jericho might just be at that point. I don't know. I'm just spewing off because this whole thing makes my blood boil every time I see those two anywhere near each other. And then I laughed because this was just the most dumbest takeaway that popped in my head and it sticks in my head is when Jericho shoved or punched Taz there and the announce table got all like, oh, you can't do that. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Taz recently has a knee injury or something. I'm just like, and you wouldn't have heard that because and I'm just like, Taz hasn't wrestled in 13 years. What the fuck does a knee injury have to do with anything? The dude can't go anyways. So
I'll be honest. Well, two things with the Taz situation. When he pushed him down, boy, Taz sat there and sold that for a minute. It felt like he was on one knee for a while. And then at the end of the night, after everything wrapped, and when they walked backstage, they walked basically right in front of me, the commentary team. Taz was limping pretty good. I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. But I thought it was, we all know Taz can't go anymore and shouldn't be in physical altercations. Just the way that the announce team, if you were watching it on TV, you would have probably said the same thing. They just made it sound super dramatic. I don't know. I didn't like it. But I think that just has to go back to, I don't like anything that's going on with this whole angle between Hook and Jericho, period. So I just think I'm going to hate everything involved with it. But just stop. Just make it end. Just hope. And I already said this, I doubt it ends after Dynasty, but please, dear God, end after Dynasty.
Yeah, I agree. We get a little interview with Swerve Strickland where he basically, he's confident he's going to beat Samoa Joe and become AEW World Champion, and he will talk to y'all later in the ring. Deonna Purrazzo gets a win over Mariah May. Tony Storm and Mariah May jump Purrazzo. I almost said Dorazzo. Thunder Rosa makes the save, knocking out Tony. She and Purrazzo get physical. Mariah May and I think Deonna take each other out, allowing Thunder Rosa to lock in a submission look-like move on Tony Storm and smear lipstick all over Tony's face. I got a good picture of this when it was happening, or a video, so Yeah, what did you think? What did you think of this?
Um, I think that this match is setting up to what I said earlier in our show here is that this Mariah May Tony Storm split is going to happen sooner than you think. It seemed as if Mariah May disappointed Tony Storm again here in this match, and it gave Peraza a boost back up because she was kind of on a little downslide there, but now she's kind of climbing back up. Overall, the match wasn't anything special. It's just they're building story, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Fair enough. We get a segment that you texted me about. Jay White and the Guns are interviewed by Renee Paquette, and they give a challenge to Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed winner-take-all match at Dynasty for the AEW Trios Championship and the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Championships. And then the Acclaimed cut a promo accepting the match. It will be on the pre-show, but whatever you say. What do you think of the Jay White promo?
I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Jay White is one of the best on the mic. He makes you feel everything he's saying. He makes you. He weaves a good story, man, and he's so eloquent. I'm making him sound like he's a Shakespearean actor or some shit, but he's acting. He's doing a damn good job of it too, and you just feel it, and it just sets up the drama for the match, and you need that. And Jay White's one of the best at it, and let's just get him off of pre-shows and Rampage and put him in the limelight. Put him on the main event. He deserves it. You brought him over. You brought him over to be a star, and you haven't used him as a star. This guy was running the Bullet Club in New Japan. This guy was top billing in New Japan. He deserves to be top billing in AEW. He is one of your best. Why are you not using him as your top billing? I don't understand it.
The next match was a bit of a wild pairing. Orange Cassidy taking on the big boa, Shane Taylor. Orange gets the win over the big opponent. And then there's a beatdown. Lee Moriarty and Anthony Ogogo hit the ring and attack Orange. Matt Seidel and Christopher Daniels come to make the save, but Trent Beretta just launches a steel chair and drills Seidel with it, which echoed around the arena. And I'm sure it sounded pretty loud on TV as well. Trent Beretta stops him from making the save and just making sure that Orange Cassidy continues to get his ass kicked. What do you think of OC and Shane Taylor?
That chair shot looked nasty.
It sounded it, dude.
It looked nasty. Yeah, I'm not even gonna really talk about the match. Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta is probably the most interesting thing AEW's got going on at the moment, story wise. It's intriguing. It's good. I love it. I've been saying I love it a lot tonight. It was a good week of wrestling overall. Like all the shows were bangers, man. But yeah, no, I can't wait for this Cassidy Trent Beretta, how it all builds up and ends. Like, this is good shit. I love it. The match. Yeah. I guess the match. Orange Cassidy got the win with the Orange Punch. I read something online, and I think there's this one dirt sheet. They talk shit about everything, and I think it's all in satire. I'm not 100% sure. It's hard to tell with some of these guys. They might actually believe it, but he's like, it's hard to believe that Orange could just win a match with a punch to Shane Taylor. And it's just like, well, it's his Orange Punch, and it's kind of his finisher, but whatever. Mm-hmm. So anyways, nonetheless, the match really wasn't anything. It's the build-up between Beretta and Cassidy.
A little bit more build-up for the international title at AEW Dynasty. Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly happens. That match will be coming up on Dynasty this Sunday. We get the main event match. Claudio Castagnoli versus Will Ospreay. And I will say, watching this in person was beautiful. I had a beautiful spot for it, and nobody in my way, just me locked in on the ring, and this match was fantastic. Two great athletes, and I get reminded every time how athletic Claudio is in the ring, and obviously Will is, of course. There were so many cool spots in this. I don't know which one stands out the most to me. Maybe the swing swing counter that Will did. And Will's moves are just beautiful. Claudio's fantastic. What was your favorite spot of this match, and what'd you think?
I always love a good phenomenal forearm. Those are always
Yeah.
fun to watch. Shout out to
Chip.
AJ Styles. Cheerio, motherfucker. The coolest spot was the Swain where Ospreay kind of rolled his way up into a DDT. That looked fucking cool as shit. Overall, yeah, Castagnoli. However you say his name, Cesaro, as I really know him. The WWE fucked up big time with him. They gave him his, run there at WrestleMania, but that was about all. They really could have used him better, man. He is so good. He's one of the best in-ring wrestlers around. Yeah, man, I love and you put Will Ospreay in. Will Ospreay makes bad wrestlers look good. Will Ospreay with good wrestlers, it's phenomenal. This was one of the best matches of the week across all of wrestling.
That's the best way. That was if we're not gonna start it this week. I totally spaced what we wanted to do, but my match of the week would be this one: Will Ospreay, Claudio, 100%. If we were doing that, we'll start that segment next week. I forgot all about it. But yeah, Will Ospreay, Claudio, that'd probably be my match of the week. The finish, of course, happens. The Don Callis family comes out. John Moxley comes out. There's a big brawl. And Will was not too happy with the Don Callis family. He waved his hands at him and walked up the ramp by himself without the family, which is good. You said it. Get Will away from him. Get him away. Because here's the thing. They're heels. They're heels. Will is not getting treated like a heel at all. At all.
No. Will Ospreay, and we've seen it when, in New Japan and also even in Rev Pro and all the he when he wants to play a heel, he can play a heel and he plays a damn good heel. But he knows the crowds, and right now he's not in that role. He's over. So you got to use him as that. Don Callis is a freaking idiot anyways.
He's so good, man.
He is, but he isn't. I guess he is good because you hate him so much. I know what you're saying. I mean, just get him away from Don Callis' family, though. Will Ospreay doesn't need anybody to be amazing. He doesn't need it. You do that for somebody who doesn't need it. He doesn't need it.
So that match wraps up. Looking forward to Will Ospreay versus Daniel Bryan at Dynasty. Swerve Strickland comes out, calls out Samoa Joe. There's security. There's a brawl. Joe gets the upper hand. Swerve tries to get a comeback, but he leaves Strickland laying in the ring with a muscle buster. Just the build to Dynasty. Swerve, Samoa Joe. I'm excited for the match. I think, you mentioned that the OC Trent story is the big one. This is another one. Swerve and Samoa Joe for sure. I'm looking forward to it. He didn't kick out of the muscle buster. He didn't even get up for a while until they went dark.
Dude, I think I messaged you. I'm like, oh, Hook would have just sat up. But
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my shots at Hook all day long until he gets better. So again, this is typical wrestling storytelling. Sometimes you get a swerve, get it, but not usually do you get a swerve in a situation like this. Leading up into a pay-per-view with a big match for the title, if the guy is getting a beat down on the go-home show, he's usually winning the title. That's just the way it goes. It's the right move right now. Swerve is white hot. Put the title on him. He can carry you for at least until the summer, until you get another angle going. Samoa Joe's done his job. Time to move on. Nothing against Joe. It's just Swerve right now. You don't put the title on him, you're going to kill his momentum, and that is sometimes the death kiss to a wrestler. You slow their momentum, they become irrelevant. So put the title on him. It won't hurt Joe in any way. Joe's done his job. Time to give Swerve some limelight.
Agreed. That wraps up AEW Dynamite from April 17th. And that's it for this week's episode. Good talks. We will be back next week with the reports from all the normal weekly shows. And, of course, AEW Dynasty from April 21st. I know there is a TNA Rebellion event, April 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if we'll end up watching that. I mean, who knows? It's on TNA Plus. I don't know. We may be able to find a way to get a hold of it. Who knows? Before we exit, I can just give you a quick little card update on that if you want, RK, see if anything piques your interest.
Have at her.
Joe Hendry versus Rich Swann. Joe Hendry's been all over my TikTok, by the way, with his theme music. Look it up if you haven't. Josh Alexander versus Alex Hammerstone in a last man standing match.
That could be a good match.
Full Metal Mayhem match. Don't know what that means, but it's Eric Young versus Frankie Kazarian.
Probably better than a East Punjabi steel bamboo match.
We're past it. We're past it. We're past it. I'm not past it. You know how long his title reign was?
Oh God.
170 days. Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion for 170 days until the Lord and Savior AJ Styles beat him. All right, I was confused. I thought he beat AJ Styles. No, AJ Styles took it off of him.
Did he defend the title more times than Roman, though, in those 170 days?
No, probably not. But never forget that on the October 17th, this is how they knew they fucked up with Jinder. I just want to put this out there because I had the information. I had to revisit it. October 17th episode of SmackDown Live. All right, we're leading into Survivor Series. And this is a point where, the Raw champion takes on the SmackDown champion. Well, SmackDown champion was Jinder Mahal. You know who the Raw champion was at the time? Brock fucking Lesnar. Okay?
Oh, God. No.
Mahal challenges him. Mahal challenged Brock Lesnar to a match at Survivor Series. But thank the Lord in heaven above, AJ Styles ended his reign before he could, and we got AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. That's all I'm saying. They knew they fucked up. They was like, all right, we got to get this off Jinder. We cannot have a main event of Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar. Get the fuck out of here, Jinder Mahal. I hope you find greener pastures. Anyway, back to TNA.
All right, so Top Rope Renegades fans, I know there's a couple of you out there. Maybe only a couple of you, but nonetheless, next week on This Week in Wrestling, we're going to open the show with a nice conversation about Jinder Mahal again.
Yeah, you want
I'm going to bring it up every week because this is gold. This is so good. Listening to Kurt get riled up over Jinder Mahal is probably the best thing that has happened all week.
He was a 24/7 champion. That's where it should have fucking ended.
No one cares about that. Whoever got rid of that title, I can't remember who got rid of that title now, but thank God.
More TNA matches for Rebellion tomorrow. The X Division Championship, Mustafa Ali versus Jake something.
Does anybody even know what the X Division is yet?
Anyway, the TNA Knockouts World Championship.
So funny thing about the X Division, Bruce Pritchard, he did some work on TNA, and on their podcast, Something to Wrestle With, Conrad Thompson asked him one time, was like, hey, so what is the X Division? And Bruce Pritchard tried to explain what it was, and then he just gave up. He's like, I don't fucking know. just go, move on. So, nobody knows what the X Division is.
Jordan Grace defends her Knockouts World Championship against Steph DeLander. She is the I guess you could call her the person that's been with Matt Cardona on the Indies, the girl that's been working with him on the indie scene.
Dude, did you see that promo that Jordan Grace cut on that?
Yes.
And Matt Cardona. Oh my God, that was so good.
She's good. Steph DeLander said something in reply of, when I win your championship, it'll be like 40% Cardona's, 40% Cardona, 10% Chelsea Greens, and 50% mine, or some shit like that.
So good, man.
Yeah,
so
we
good.
got the TNA World Tag Team Championships on the line. The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers versus Speedball Mountain, Mike Speedball Bailey and Trent Seven. In the main event is the TNA World title on the line. Moose defending against Nick Nemeth. That's a TNA Rebellion, Saturday, April 20th from the Palms. I don't know if I'm going to check that out. I might just get the results and see if anything piques my interest.
Well, we'll probably do what we usually do with those shows. We'll check it out, and any matches that were after the fact, if they were noted by anybody as being, great matches, we usually try to go find a way to watch them. I'm a huge, and you know what? YouTube's great. They put on a lot of free matches from a lot of promotions, which is awesome of YouTube, and awesome of the promotions give out free matches. But I'm a huge proponent in supporting these companies. So go out, get the streaming services to watch these matches. Don't go trying to find bootleg copies. Support these companies because the more we support them, the more better stuff they give us. So go out. We bought Rev Pro on demand so we could watch one Will Ospreay match. Like
That's true.
We want to support the industry. So everybody listening, if you want to support the industry, please do your best to support them. It's worth it because we get these great, awesome shows every week because of the support we give them. So go out, support your wrestling companies, man. Don't go cheating them out of their money. They deserve it because they entertain us, and entertainment is not always free. So, anyways, nonetheless, I think I totally cut you off. Do you have any other points? No. I had one more thing I wanted to bring up that I totally forgot about. So, if you got anything? Let me just try to remember what this was. What do I got here? Oh, yes, that was it. So, we had another Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy kind of thing on Raw there with QR code. And it kind of led to a little video.
We have one to look forward to tonight on SmackDown. That's all I know. That's all I know.
They're doing cool with this. I can't see them dragging it out too long, and we're probably going to get a reveal sooner than later. But the interesting thing that came out is that Matt Hardy posted that little QR code video thing on his X, Instagram, I don't know what it was. And there's talks. Like, obviously, they're kind of, it looks like they're kind of leaning towards, sorry about that. Kind of like looking to bring out the Wyatt Six, which was kind of like what Bray was leaning towards when he came back there. You know, he was teasing the Wyatt Six and that big, huge thing at Extreme Rules and everything that happened. But potential members of Wyatt Six, like, obviously, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, that's a given. But, like, do you think we could see Eric Rowan back or maybe Braun Strowman back in the Wyatt Six?
I know there was Eric Rowan was scheduled to do some things, and then I think his schedule he had to get canceled from those appearances because of contractual obligations.
All right, but I mean, potentially that was then. This is now. So, I mean, we could potentially be getting, you know, Braun Strowman hasn't really been doing much lately, and I think you mentioned something. Was he injured or just they didn't?
He was injured over a year, or it's been almost a year. In May is when his injury took place, and he's coming along.
So I mean, we could get, you know, the Wyatt Six could still be a thing. We get Braun Strowman back, maybe. I mean, Eric Rowan, if you figure it out, that'd be cool to get back. Alexa Bliss, there's been rumblings that, you know, we might see her back in there somehow. She had a huge angle with Bray Wyatt. And now this Matt Hardy thing is interesting because Matt Hardy, Broken Matt, and Bray Wyatt had done some stuff in the past in the WWE. That was when I wasn't watching, but it was like the Deleter of Worlds or something.
Yeah. Yep. Him and Matt Hardy tag team. They were tag champs at one point. That was a really cool combo.
So, I mean, Matt Hardy's not under contract with AEW right now. I mean, this whole Wyatt Six thing could really pop off. And, I mean, who better than Bo Dallas to be running the head of it? Because, you know, if anybody knows Bray, it's going to be Bo. So, I'm all for it, man. And they're doing it so good right now. It's so creepy. It's cool. It's, you know, little tidbits here and there, Easter eggs, whatever you want to call them. It's fun. And I suspect that it's gonna pay homage to Bray Wyatt in the best way possible. They're not gonna screw this up. They can't.
Yeah, no, I agree. That wraps it though. I'm looking forward to what they do on SmackDown. I heard there was a little hint, or maybe another QR code. We'll see. But that is that for Top Rope Renegades this week in the wrestling. We will be back next week, as I said. We'll talk about all the weekly shows, AEW Dynasty, and then if anything else, of course, pops up from a TNA show, Rebellion. And RK will be back with his stuff to piss me off, apparently. We'll have news and all that good stuff.
I'm pretty sure that's all I'm gonna do now is just look for stories to piss you off because that's too
fine.
much fun.
Go for it. Go for it. I think. What star would you give you pissing me off with this stuff, huh?
Well, I mean, 5 stars if we were in the Tokyo Dome, but also 5 star. I mean, we could be in the States, but the Young Bucks would have to be on the show. Then we could probably get 5 stars.
That's a wrap. Thank you all so much for listening. Talk to you next week.
Thank you.